If you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. And let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as I go throughout the live. Be sure to help support the channel by hitting the $ 2 cents box and that's the Cash App. Or letting me know and dropping it below your 2 cents in a super chat. 11/4/2025. Hi, welcome to the channel. Chick, and this is our 2 cents where we talk everything boxing. boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be discussing whatever we want because it's 2 cents after dark. And if you're new here, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. But 2 cents after dark is where we get the opportunity to talk about boxing, maybe talk about boxing from a different perspective or on a different level than we normally would, or we just talk about random topics, politics, whatever the topic is. And at the same time, we respect each other's opinion. We're not here to argue, yell, scream, cuss each other out, try to hate somebody, judge somebody because of their opinion. We are here to share our opinions and maybe give some perspective and insight into why our opinions are our opinions so that we understand we don't have to agree just to understand where you're coming from. Shout out to everybody in the building that's joining me tonight. Let a couple more people pull in. So Tank and Jake officially canceled. And I think the last time I spoke with y'all, we was just saying, is it canceled? I know at least I was like, look, is it canceled or no? Like, we're not finna keep going with the he say, she say, I heard, Michael Benson, Chris Mannix. I don't want to do all that. Just let me know if the fight is canceled. So they come out and they say the fight is canceled. Omega Red say, for the record, I don't like everyone but you 2 cents boxing. Man, cut it out, Omega Red. You be all everywhere. But what I really want to start off talking about tonight, I don't really want to talk about Tank. I've been getting attacked. For whatever reason, let me say this real quick, right? It's 2 cents after dark. But for whatever reason, if the masses of, and it's only with certain things, but if like the masses of people think something and you could agree with the masses, but you just provide like a different perspective or maybe a different way you could look at it, then it's like you getting called all these things, you must be these things. Like it's weird, it's crazy. And then people come at you with the same exact talking points. And once you either ask them to explain it further, what they're saying to get some clarity, or you rebuttal their point, then that's the end of the conversation. Like they didn't think past this one talking point. And so that's why I'm saying, like, it's cool. We're going to come over here. We're going to chit chat, but don't just come in my chat shooting random talking points at me. And then when I'm like, well, what do you mean by that? Why do you think that? Or I ask you a question and you don't rebuttal, you just run to the next talking point. Like, come on, y'all, stop that. Stop that. And I'm tonight, 12, I've set some new boundaries. 12 o'clock, I will be off of the live. That is my new boundary. 12 p.m. Shout out to Omega Red with the $2 in the super chat. He says, damn the rest. Shout out Omega Red. So I wanted to kick the show off. What's up, Gap 2 Games? Mr. Greg in the building, aircraft carrier. I wanted to start the show off talking about the 147-pound division. We may get into some Tank and Jake stuff. We may not. But we may, because Jake put out some his little statement, which was pandering in my opinion, but we'll get into that. So I'm hearing people say that if Devin Haney beats Ryan Norman, then he's the best at 147 pounds. Now, Brian Norman is a decent fighter. To me, I feel like, people kind of hyping him a little bit, and that's cool, but my 2 cents, he's a decent fighter. Um, I feel like he's still got some things fundamentally that he could like work on or do, but that's just my opinion. And I don't think he's fought the best competition, but he is a champion, right? And so I keep hearing people say, I keep hearing people say, 147 division is trash. The 147 division is trash, right? And I'm just thinking in my head when they're saying that the 147 division is trash, I'm like, man, you would think, right? All these hardcore fans, right? You would think that the 147 division would be a hardcore fan's dream. It would be a hardcore fan's dream. It's nobody there that's sticking out. Everybody's gonna have to compete and fight for their slots in the 147-pound division. Every fight is damn near a quote unquote 50-50 fight because y'all saying everybody's trash. So I just take that to assume that everybody's on the same level competitively. So when they do make fights at 147 pounds, they should be competitive. We don't know who's what. We gotta let the 47 division shake up. But it's like all of a sudden, if Devin beat Brian Norman, he's the best at 147 pounds. Like, when did Brian Norman become the best at 147 pounds? Let me know and drop it below. Like, when was you like, he's the best at 147 pounds? When was that moment for you? Was it when he knocked out Kawasaki? Like, when did you realize that Brian Norman was the best at 147 pounds? Just let me know. Drop below. I'm interested. Because would Brian Norman not have competitive fights with everybody else in the division, or would he just destroy them? I'm asking. So let's not like let's let the 47 let's let it play out. Let's watch it play out. Let's not arbitrarily try to label people things to make people be other things. Let's not do that right now. We don't have to do that. The 147 division is a clean slate. We get to watch it shake out. We get to watch this person beat this person and this person beat this person. This is what y'all been asking for. This is exactly what y'all have been asking for. You want to see the best fighting the best. Well, if everybody's trash, then technically you're going to be getting the best fighting the best. Every fight at the 147-pound division, since everybody in the division is trash. The eye test tell me Norman Jr. is the best aircraft carrier. How long you been watching boxing? 90 days, 6 months? How long you been watching boxing? Just let me know. But just to give my 2 cents, I wouldn't label you the best at 147 pounds because you beat Brian Norman. You got to beat a couple of more people at 147 pounds. You got to beat a couple of more people. Like all of them at 147 pounds got to beat a couple of more people. Like we got to let it shake and play out. Y'all just want if Devin Haney beat Norman, oh, he's the best. No, 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 no. That's not gonna happen at this division because you gotta fight people. It's people there to fight. Now, if you the best and 147 division is trash, we're gonna see you run through the division. We're gonna see you run through the division. And you can be best of the you'll be the best of the trash. You'll be garbage. You ain't gonna be garbage. You'll get to be garbage. Because you'll be the best of the division that y'all keep calling so trash. But that's really giving y'all exactly what y'all been asking for, which is competitive fights that you don't know who gonna win. The best fighting the best. That's all I'm saying. Y'all wasn't even talking about Brian Norman. Man, y'all ain't wasn't even talking about Brian Norman until they attached themselves to Boots. Now all of a sudden he the best in the division. Come on. Come on, y'all. And the eye test is telling you he's the best in the division. Aircraft carrier, you never told me how long you haven't told me how long you've been watching boxing. 72 hours a week? How long have you been watching boxing? For the eye test to tell you that Brian Norman is the best in the division, I'm just curious how long you've been watching boxing. Aircraft carrier. See, this is the problem I have with you gentlemen, right? This is the problem I have with y'all. I ain't gonna say problem. I'll take that back. This is the biggest challenge I'm having with y'all. I ask a question and y'all don't answer it. Like I don't understand. Like this is that like a man thing? Like all of y'all do it though. I ask a question and I'm waiting on the answer. I asked aircraft carrier, how long has he been watching boxing? He responds, "Who's the best then, Miss Two Cents?" Can you answer my question first, aircraft carrier? They go Rich in the chat throwing rocks and hiding his hand again. Shout out to JB, the channel formerly known as Fight Game with 9.99 in the super chat. He says, "What up, two?" And chat. So you've been watching boxing for 25 years. Okay. SBG Mello say over 30 years. Okay. Okay. See how easy that was? That was so simple. But that's all the point that I'm trying to make. And that's what I mean about hardcore fans. Like they're never ever satisfied. They're never satisfied. Never. Never satisfied. Always complaining about something. Always crying about something. Always lying about something. So what do y'all think? Let me know and drop it below. And just had another random question when I was going through my files and this popped up. Y'all remember this? Kentucky made Devin dress up like a lawyer for the promo for the fight where he was trying to promote Devin versus Ryan, but he wasn't making the Devin versus Ryan fight at the time. And he made Devin dress up like a lawyer. Y'all remember this? And I was just curious, like, what happened to all the turkey trailers and the little mini movies and stuff he was making? What happened to all of that? Like, is Devin gonna dress up like a lawyer and do a promo for this fight? Like, what happened to all of that, Turkey? Look, no, Turkey never did this. Wax Hacker, can you explain what you mean by Turkey never did this? What do you mean? I'm not understanding what you're saying. Turkey never did this. What did he never do? What did Turkey never do, Boxing Hacker? So anyway, I was just curious if Devin gonna dress up like a lawyer again, do some more promo. Cause I kind of when they did this, I said something about it. I was like, this out of line, y'all. Y'all like, oh, what is it? Like he got Devin dressed up as a lawyer. This the same fight where he didn't let Bill Haney get on the stage, and then everybody was acting like that was cool. Where everybody else was up there with their trainers and managers or whatever. It's that same. All is connected. Boxing Hacker, what do you mean no Turkey never did this? What are you saying? Turkey never did what? This shit is diabolical. And Devin's still fighting for that man after that disrespect. Anything for a dollar. I mean, I'm just asking, do y'all remember this? And everybody was like, it's cool. Do y'all think it's still cool now? Like looking back on it, do y'all think it's still cool? Don't worry, 2 Cent Turkey is still gonna do promos. I mean, it's not like Devin is out here kidnapping women. I'm not sure what that has to do with him dressed up as a lawyer making a fool of himself in a promo for a fight Boxing happen. That's that generic talking point stuff I was just talking to y'all about. Just to deflect, focus attention away from what you're saying. But we're gonna stay right here on this ad of Devin Haney dressed up like a lawyer. So, what do you all think? If Devin Haney beats Brian Norman, is he the best at 147? I want to see what y'all got to say. I want to see what y'all got to say. Aircraft carrier say the eye test makes him think Brian Norman is the best at 47. Fair enough. The eye test is what make me think he not the best. So aircraft carrier, you think Brian Norman could beat Karen Kukadashian? You think Brian Norman could beat Karen Kukadashian? Aircraft carrier? Listen, saying the division, like y'all might as well stop saying the division is trash, right? Because if everybody trash, then it cancels out. So we're gonna have some good competitive fights. Cause everybody trash. Ain't that what y'all want? Good competitive 50-50 fights where people just ain't above people. Like Terrence Bud Crawford, the best fighter to infinity and beyond. Jesus couldn't even get in the ring with Terrence. You don't got that at 47. Everybody got it gotta shake up. We gotta see people fight people. Everybody gotta fight. You gotta earn. You gotta show you levels above. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So y'all keep saying, oh, 147 division is trash. Good. Good is trash. Good. So let's watch the fights. I mean, I don't understand what y'all want. Y'all cry about fights not being 50-50 and the best fighting the best. Well, if everybody's trash, you're going to get the best fighting the best every time. You got some fighters fighting at 47, right or wrong. Right or wrong. And I don't understand why Dank Father keep talking about Boots. Dank Father, why do you keep talking about Boots? Boots is at 154 pounds right now. We're talking about Devin Haney and him taking over the 147-pound division, and you in my chat talking about Boots. We got McGaverick TV in the building. What up, McGaverick TV? Glad to have you back in these YouTube streets. Y'all get what I'm saying? So saying that the 47 division is trash means what? To me, it means we're about to get some competitive fights then if everybody trash. Nobody's levels above nobody. Everybody trash. Like, do y'all be listening to what y'all saying, or y'all just be just repeating stuff and not critically thinking about it? So put a one in the chat if you think Brian Norman Jr. can beat Karen Kukadashian. Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you think Brian Norman Jr. can beat Karen Kukadashian. And I've been watching the Brian Norman videos and all that. Brian Norman Jr. He's funny. He's entertaining. He got the little country accent. You feel what I'm saying? Rick, y'all think Brian Payton for you think Brian Norman Jr. can beat Karen Kukadashian? Come on, y'all. See, aircraft carriers say he not sure. Y'all tripping. Y'all think Brian Norman Jr. can beat Karen Kukadashian? How? How is Brian Norman gonna beat Karen Kukadashian? Dondrick, you think he can beat? Hold on, y'all. Let me do something real quick. Cause I'm about to put y'all names on the screen. Cause y'all trolling. For real, y'all are trolling. Gots to be. Hold on, y'all. Let me do something real quick. Gots to be trolling. Herc say it's a 50-50 fight. So can y'all tell me how Brian Norman Jr. would beat Karen Kugadashi and let me know and drop it below? How do y'all see that fight going? Okay, my next question. How do you see a fight between Brian Norman Jr. and Karen Kugadashi going? Can Devin Haney beat Karen? That's the real question. I don't think. I think Karen. Let me say this. Karen Kugadajian is a tough fight for all of them, and I don't think that Brian Norman Jr. can beat Karen Kugadajian. I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't think that. Isaiah, what you doing in the building? He say, honestly, I think Devin has a better chance beating Karen than Brian Norman Jr. if we keeping it real. Um, my only thing with Devin, and I'm just realizing that this is my biggest challenge with Devin. I finally realized what it is. He does not make adjustments. He don't make adjustments. Karen has excellent footwork and he can fight you in the pocket. He's going to need him to be able to make adjustments to beat Karen. So that alone, that's going to be a really, really, really difficult fight for Devin Haney. That fight might be harder than the Ryan Garcia fight because Ryan Garcia is more one dimensional than Karen. Let me see what y'all saying. I don't think Karen will actually sit down and fight. He will just keep moving. Well, he will sit down and fight with Devin. Why not? How good do y'all think he was in sitting in the pocket with trying to sit in there with Boots? How good y'all think Devin is in the pocket? And if he's going to quote unquote step to Brian Norman Jr., I'm done. If he goes in there, right, with another terrible, terrible game plan, I'm done with Bill for sure. I'm done with Bill. Like Bill, you need to get somebody else in this man's corner. It ain't no way in hell you make the same mistake twice. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Devin better get in there and move lateral. He better. He better get in there and move around. Why are you going in there trying to stand toe to toe with somebody your size? You already tried that. I don't care about no Ostarine. I'm just saying you've already tried that and it didn't work out too well. Ostarine, let me not say I don't care about no Ostarine. Ostarine aside. So you're telling me you want me to believe that you're gonna go in there and go toe to toe with Brian Norman Jr.? Listen, I'm not worried about if you lying or not. I just think it's a bad idea. If that's what you're gonna do, that's what you're gonna do. Thank Father, anybody that fight their favorites, they going to make it seem like them guys are better than their contemporaries. I don't know what Rich crying about in the chat. Karen is all bad for Devin. Karen is a great counterpuncher with great footwork, and Devin is really a one-trick pony. Kirk, that's what I'm telling you. That's the biggest challenge for Devin is he don't make adjustments. And it's an even bigger challenge for Devin because Bill don't make no doggone adjustments. So you got Devin in the ring who can't just make a quick adjustment on the fly to something the other fighter doing. And then you got Bill in there that can't help you make bigger adjustments from what you're seeing as the coach. Like, okay, he dropping that hand, double jab over the top right. Wow. All right, cool. He gonna tell you keep doing what you've been doing. So, and that's the reason why one of the reasons why I think that if Devin Haney is not mentally damaged from the Ryan Garcia fight, right? We have to admit it's still a question mark there. I felt like he could have done a lot more in the Ramirez fight, but for whatever reason he didn't. So I'm like, okay, he had been out, he was rusty. I gave him a lot of benefit of the doubt. He still ran the fuck around. I don't care what y'all say, there wasn't no masterclass. But mentally, I think if he's mentally together, he should be able to beat Brian Norman because I don't think he will have to adjust or make a lot of adjustments in order to be able to beat Brian Norman. Theoretically, he should be able to outbox Brian Norman. Keep him at the end of his jab, keep spinning him, get in, let the combos off, move lateral, don't ever let him get set. Keep it moving. That's how you beat Brian Norman, right? In a nutshell, like just to give a summary. Jupe in the building. What up, Jupe? So that if I were training Devin, I would tell him something to that effect, right? To beat Brian Norman. Now, I've watched Brian Norman fight. I've watched his fights, and I'm just like, what am I missing? Like, what is it that y'all are seeing that I'm not seeing? What is it that even when they was crying about Brian Norman fighting Boots, I'm like, what am I missing? I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter, but y'all the ones that keep saying the 47 division is trash. So I'm asking, like, what are y'all seeing that just make y'all think that he's just all of a sudden the best in the division? I think Rolly could beat Brian Norman Jr. I mean, it's a toss up without Ryan could probably knock out Brian Norman Jr. Like, what makes him the best in the division? Isaiah say I would love to see Devin bring in another trainer instead of just having Bill Haney. Bill didn't have nothing for Devin when Ryan was beating his brains in no adjustments whatsoever. So check this out. Listen, I was talking to somebody today while I was at work, right? And he said, because we just be talking about boxing and passing, right? So he walked past, he say, Norman gonna beat Devin. I say, no, I got Devin winning. He was like, nope, Norman gonna beat Devin. I was like, why you say that? He was like, Devin don't make no adjustments. I said, yeah. And he said, and Devin don't like to be uncomfortable. And I thought about that. And he was like, why you think he always switching trainers or getting a new trainer? Like he doesn't want to be uncomfortable. Like that's the only reason. Basically, he was like, that's the only reason why you'll be having all those trainers. You just, as soon as you start to get uncomfortable, you don't want to do whatever they trying to get you to do no more. And I was like, that's an interesting take. That's an interesting take. I said, I'm going to bring that up on my show and ask the two centers, what do they think about that? Nah, Karen ain't really fighting the pocket. I'm exaggerating a little bit. But what you say, did Karen with Boots, he was only throwing single shots. I'm not talking about Devin. I'm talking about Norman, 2 cents. Where Bill been? He not popping it like he has in years past. You know, Bill is quiet. I don't know why Bill's so quiet, but finally, Devin is out doing the interviews and talking. Like he should have been did this. He should have been. He separated himself from his father. You get what I'm saying? So Bill can be talking and Bill his own person, and Devin's over here. He can speak for himself and he his own person, right? It's kind of like how Coach Calvin and Coach Kenny is Coach Calvin and Coach Kenny. They say what they say, and Tank say what he say. You already know, like that they not necessarily speaking for Tank. You really aware of that for the most part. Tank even come out and be like, man, I told them niggas to shut up. Jupe said, I think Karen is more skilled than people thought. He showed he can fight off the back foot and be aggressive, and he has a good beard. Karen can upset someone. Jupe, do you think that? Let me ask you two questions, Jupe, because you just got in the building, and if you've already answered them, I probably missed it. Do you think that Brian Norman Jr. is the best in the division? And if Devin Haney beats Brian Norman Jr., he is now the best at 147 pounds? And do you think that Brian Norman Jr. can beat Karen Kukadashian? Do you think he can beat him? I'm about to drop the link because I'm telling y'all, 12 o'clock, I'm off this joker. Boxing hacker answer the question. When has begun in camp ever stopped him from popping his shit? He been quiet for a reason. Oh, when has begun in camp? Karen was a whole different fighter in the Boost rematch. He didn't run like he did the first fight. He caught Boost flush a few times. That wasn't to my liking. Karen is no slouch, not a killer, but come with it. He knocked out his last opponent, Rick Tim. Did you see Karen last fight? Let me drop the link because I ain't got that much time, y'all. 12 I'm off. 12 I'm off. I might have to start coming on at 10 instead of 10:30. I don't know, y'all, but this show be messing up my sleep pattern for the whole week, and then I get it back together, and then Tuesday here again, and then we start over. I cannot keep doing it to myself. I think Norman being the perceived best is reasonable, but for me, it's too soon. 147 too fresh to claim him as the man. That don't seem reasonable to me. We got to see how it shake out. Y'all can't just say he the best because he knocked out Kawasaki. 2 cents. That's because Bill and Devin was trying to get out of the fight. Bill's scared as hell right now. Man, everybody keeps saying that, but I'm like, if he ain't want the fight, he ain't have to take it. Like, was it a gun to his head and they had to take the fight? I don't be understanding their perspective. Like I be feeling like if they ain't want the fight, they ain't have to take it. Y'all downplay Norman, but he's 23 and got better every fight. In the Quentin fighter, he cut off the ring. Well, he just rushed his work. He is way more patient fighter and has shown he can take a shot. But how am I downplaying him? I say he's a good fighter, but I don't like everybody acting like he just the best at 47. Come on now. You didn't even just say he the best at 47. You say he getting better every fight. So that you agree with me, Dondre. You agree with me. JB say he didn't want to get exposed by Turkey. Man, listen. Shout out to Boxing Hacker and Paid in Full on the panel.
What's up, two?
What up, Paid in Full? What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Well, when they say like that Devin, that he was kind of like forced to take the fight, you gotta think, that Ryan fight wasn't gonna happen again. He really didn't have no opponents at 147 that he could have fought. Uh, Richardson Hitchens fight that fight fell through. The Teofimo Lopez fight fell through. I think that he was pretty much forced into that fight because there was no other fighters at 147 with a name that was that would have got approved by Turkey for him to fight. That's what I think, as far as that. And for Norman, yeah, I just think with Karen in that second fight, I think in certain spots he tried to sit down and fight, but it was still like he was only throwing single shots with Boots when he was fighting Boots. Um, in the first fight, obviously he was just moving around. He just kept running around. The same shit that Devin was doing in against the Ramirez fight, pretty much. He just wasn't really throwing any punches in the first fight. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents about that.
Shout out Jupe on the panel. What up, Jupe? Um, I could say Rolly the best at 147 pounds. Now what?
No, but Boots is rate. I mean, Brian Norman's rate higher than Rolly at the moment. It really got elevated. So,
Just because you rank don't mean you the best.
I mean, you're considered number one champion if you're
I
ranked.
don't think Rolly get past Brian Norman though. Honestly
What?
speaking,
You never know
yeah,
until
I
they
don't
fight.
think he
But
get
as
past.
far as ranking goes,
I think that his style against Ryan, I think his style against Ryan was more tailor made for him because obviously he been in the ring with Ryan a lot of times. And Ryan don't like pressure. That's another thing about Ryan. He don't like pressure fighters. And Rolly was kind of like that for him.
yeah.
And he also had power. So yeah, I don't know if Rolly the best at 147. I think I got Brian Norman being the best at 147 as of right now.
Nah, you hate Rolly the King of
That's
147,
crazy.
man.
That's crazy,
Don't ever
man.
disrespect Rolly.
I think
Rolly got
Norman beat
elevated.
Rolly. Hold on, y'all. We got Dondrick Nim and No Cap on the panel. Boxing Hacker, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Hey, what's going on, two set? Well, let's start off with this whole Karen Cook dodging thing, right? I hear people saying like, "Oh, Karen it might be." I can't really gauge how good Karen is. You know, he gave Boots trouble, but I mean, Styles make fights. Just because he gives
Did you
Boots
see his
trouble,
last fight?
I didn't even see his last fight. He did good.
He knocked him out.
Oh, congrats to him. But like, I still can't gauge how good the brother is. You know, like I
Somebody
think.
got a mute. No Cap mute.
Okay, is it good?
Go
I
ahead.
think as far as I think as far as Brian Norman, I would say it might be 50-50. Like I said, it's hard to gauge how good he really is. You know, like I don't think he can beat Devin. You know, just from what I saw, I think Devin's footwork is on par with his. But like as far as Brian Norman,
Boxing
I'm not
Hacker,
sure.
stop it. It's
Yeah,
nowhere near. It's not.
why not? See, here's the thing: people
Devin
people
Haney.
create these like
No,
reverse
no, no.
triangle theories. You know, like
Devin. No,
there's-
it's not a triangle theory. Devin's footwork is nowhere near Karen Kugadajian's footwork. Stop
what,
it, Boxing Hacker.
why do you say that?
What do you mean? Why do I
Yeah,
say that?
why is it not nowhere near that?
When have you ever seen Devin use his feet like that in the ring, boxing hacker?
Devin used his feet the last fight, and he won every single round.
He didn't use his
And then
feet.
Karen Kundajin used his feet
He
against
ran laterally around the ring. That's not using his feet.
Huh?
He didn't use his feet in the last fight. He ran laterally around the ring. That's not.
So how do you move laterally? You have to use your feet, right? That's technically using your feet.
Okay, boxing hacker. Okay, go ahead, finish up.
I don't know
Finish
where
up.
we're going with this. It's
Yeah,
technically that's
finish up.
definitely you can move laterally is to use your feet. You know,
Okay,
I
go
think,
ahead.
like I said, I mentioned like Devin outboxed Lomachenko. Like it wasn't like a power thing. Like
I would say outboxed him, bro. So you can't say that, bro. You
Y'all
well,
just
he
let
won
boxing hacker
unanimously. So he won
finish.
unanimously
Trying to
on
give
top of
people.
the
He
card.
just trying to get people to teach, trying to get a reaction out of
No,
people.
I
Go
mean,
ahead,
like
boxing hacker.
if Devin can go toe to toe with Lomachenko, who has really good footwork, you know,
He was bigger than him.
and how then
Hold on, Pay. Let him finish.
Karen being like footwork being that much better. As far like I said, I would favor Devin over Karen. Like I said, for Brian Norman and Devin, I think it's just a weird. I don't know. It's a weird dynamic, you know. Like I can't really tell what will happen in that fight. You know, I
In what
would
fight?
probably slightly
Can't
favor
tell what
Brian.
happened in what
But
fight.
I couldn't say.
You couldn't say what happened in what fight.
Like Brian Norman and Karen fought. It's hard to figure out gauge like how good these guys. I think when Brian Norman fights Devin, we gotta see how good Brian Norman really is. You know, he beat the Japanese guy, the Naruto guy, whatever the guy's name, Jin Suzuki, whatever, right? But how good was Jin? Like, you know, so when he fights that top level fighter, then we'll see how good he really is. But for right now, it's hard to say who's really better between the two. You know,
We don't know if Devin's a top level fighter.
as far as one last thing, as far as him being forced, Devin never had to take no Brian Norman fight. We saw Devin Haney at 140 literally relinquish a belt where he didn't want to take a fight. So if he didn't want the fight, he will never just took it. You know, so all this argument,
Really, he relinquished the belt because he didn't want to fight, or did he duck the fight?
no, he really because he didn't want the fight.
Who was he gonna fight then, boxing hacker?
Like the numbers are
He
giving
ducked
the
the
fight.
fight, boxing hacker. Y'all stop this stupid shit up here, boxing hacker.
Yeah,
Stop.
because he's
let's talk
triggering
reality.
motherfuckers, bro.
We have to talk reality here because people act like Devin. This is not a mandatory fight.
Who was he gonna fight?
It was a mandatory fight.
He doesn't have to fight Brian Norman. He can
What are
fight
you
anybody
talking about?
else. What are you talking about?
Who?
He does not have to fight Brian Norman.
Who was he gonna fight then?
He can fight anybody else. I mean, what?
Who?
You keep saying who? Like Brian Norman's the only person on earth he can fight.
My nigga, he was the only one that was available. What are you talking about? Who else was he gonna
doesn't have
fight?
to fight. Even if okay, check this out. If he doesn't want to fight,
We gotta pass the mic. Hold on, boxing hacker.
Stupid, bro.
Boxing hacker, you done?
yeah, like it's ludicrous.
All right, no cap. What's your 2 cents? What you got for the show? No cap, you done?
Yeah, I'm Devin Haney trash. That's what I got.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney ain't about shit, boxing hacker. That's what I got. We 2 weeks away from the demise of the Hanos clan for once and for all. What y'all niggas
Not
gonna do?
once and for all. He can't bounce back, no cap.
Nah, this once and for all. We finishing this shit off.
I mean,
Ryan Senior put he on Bill. He destroyed Bill.
So keep it
Hey,
going.
do y'all know who the ref
He
is?
destroyed Bill on the Coach Malachi show where Bill was cooking when until Brian Senior called. It's like damn, Bill was cooking like he was back. I was like, damn, Bill back, nigga. They must got a plan. But then Brian Senior came on there. It destroyed that nigga Bill, nigga.
And what you gonna see? What you gonna say with Devin beats Brian Norman?
Hold on, boxing hacker. It's no cap turn. He didn't cut you off.
Yeah, it's
Go
my
ahead.
turn. Okay, we already know you a Devin Haney draw sniffer. We ain't know, but that shit coming to an end November 22nd. It's gonna be a brutal knockout. And when Devin Haney is laid out in the rehab, I want you to come on here and I want to hear your cries. I want to hear your pleas. I want to relish in your misery. That's what I want to do. And I can't wait. November 22nd. You will feel despair like never before, boxing hacker, as your Lord and Savior, Devin Haney, is put to rest. Now, what you got to say about that?
I hope this fight not boring, bro. I hope it ain't like no Ramirez fight.
Why not?
Dondrick, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show? This nigga said, why not?
I mean, Durant versus.
Oh my God, bro! It's not your turn. Shut up. God damn, bro. See, your name not Dondrick. Nah, I think this fight is going to be interesting because people keep saying Devin's he's a mover. No, he was running the last fight. It was excessive. He won, but it was excessive, and he can't do that against Brian Norman because I believe Brian Norman's feet. I think he's way more athletic than Devin. Way more athletic, and that's something that I've just seen through videos and watching fights. Yeah, he's way more athletic than Devin. So I believe he can catch him and cut the ring off, but I think he's gonna. I don't want Devin to say Devin's gonna get knocked out, but Devin's gonna have to move excessively. I think he's gonna pull a Karen again with boots, and I think that's the only way I think he can try to win because I
He
don't
will be
think
dumb not to.
Devin's hands aren't faster than Brian Norman. First of all,
He longer. He got the reach.
he got the reach, but your hands got to be faster. It's more, and they're the same height, aren't they?
No, I think Devin bigger.
What, a couple, 1 inch?
No, I think Brian Norman is arm reach is longer than Devin Haney's. But I think
When I
by a
seen them
couple.
standing by each other, Devin looks significantly bigger than Brian Norman to
He's
me.
tall. He might be like an inch taller, but he's not
Yeah, he
significantly
like
bigger.
yeah, for sure. He not arm reach length is I think Brian Norman's is longer than Devin's by a couple of centimeters, and he is taller than Brian Norman by like an inch.
Yeah.
I think Devin's
Like he
faster
look
than
wider, like he look
Devin is
Brian
not
bigger.
Norman
faster
too.
Y'all
than
feel what I'm
nobody.
saying?
Yeah, I don't know what y'all mean. Devin's slower than. I think Devin's way faster than Brian Norman.
Man, y'all
Devin
tripping, bro.
5'10".
And it's the thing that people keep going back to that Quentin Randall fight. You got to understand, Quentin Randall was way longer than Devin Haney. His arm reach is way longer than Devin Haney's.
But
So
Way.
of
Devin
course it's
Haney's way
gonna take a
faster.
lot to. Of course it's gonna take a lot to get inside of his inside with him because he's a longer fighter.
But Devin Haney's way faster than Quentin Randall though.
No, he's not.
Nigga, this is
No,
not
he's
no
not.
fucking race. Why do you keep saying that shit?
Speed matters. So
Speed
that's why I
matters
say
when
it.
you running away. This ain't the 400, nigga.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. He keeps
All
saying
right.
that shit.
All right. Y'all sing this song until the fight happens. Don't
What
don't
beat
try to make excuses.
speed boxing hacker? What beat speed boxing hacker?
What beat speed?
What?
Timing.
Yeah. So why you keep talking about speed?
I don't think his timing's better than Devin either.
Cause your
I
ass
think
could
Timing-
just get time.
Brian
Okay.
Norman's good. I'm not saying Brian. I like Brian Norman. He's good. I just don't know. Like I said, it's hard to gauge currently. Like I can't really gauge just because he knocked the memory out of the Japanese guy. You know, I don't think.
And another thing, this is another thing that people be running with, bro. Like experience, bro. I feel like every time you step in that ring, bro, you're gaining experience, no matter who you're fighting.
All that experience shit matter.
Yeah.
That's why I keep
Yeah,
wondering
but-
why nobody bringing that up. That matters.
That matters a lot. Yeah,
It matters.
and the level of
But-
experience
but-
too.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Can I say? I'm gonna say this.
Like a
The
regular
level of
fight.
experience. If we're gonna say his level of experience is good, the 2 times that he really was in a fight with people who are supposed to be higher level, he was questionable fights. The Ryan fight, he didn't look good in, and then the Loma fight was a pick'em fight. So, is his experience really that good?
Yeah,
I don't think Loma
Listen,
won that fight. And I don't know
I
why
thought-
people keep saying that.
I thought
Nigga,
Loma
see,
lost because he gave up that 12th round.
yeah.
So,
I felt like Loma had good moments in that fight, but he definitely ain't do enough to win it. That's what I think.
no,
But that's neither here nor there.
it was
But
pretty
I
good.
expected
I
them to
think that,
rob Devin though. I
Yeah.
expected them to at least try to rob him. So that was interesting. They robbed him that fight.
it's part of the Hanos clan. So I
that
don't.
was a
I don't-
close ass fight.
Yeah, it
Definitely
close.
was a close fight for sure.
That was a good boxing match.
But
And once
again,
Devin got
Devin
figured
don't
out,
make
Bill had
adjustments.
no adjustments.
Devin don't make adjustments. That's the problem. So the question here is, will Brian Norman force Devin to have to make adjustments? That's the question. If he has to make adjustments, yes, Brian Norman can get something off. But
I'm
if he
not
don't
really
have
sure
to make
Brian
no
Norman's on Devin's
adjustments,
level though.
how you gonna cut me off in the middle of me talking?
Exactly. Stop talking.
If he doesn't have to make adjustments, he'll be able to outbox him. That's what I think.
Wrong.
Hey, you never
That's
know.
what I'm
Devin might
talking-
stop him, man. Do the impossible for you guys.
Yeah.
Juke, Juke, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show, Juke?
Hey, how y'all doing?
What up?
So, I everybody got really good like perspectives. I kind of like I don't think anyone's like absolutely like wrong, like in like way wrong. So like just going back to the Karen Kukadajian thing, I was looking it up and like Karen Kukadajian, it's like I can see how he would give people problems, right? Because in a way, he's a Ukrainian fighter. He's Ukrainian. He has good footwork. He's basically he's the less flashy, orthodox, but younger Loma. That's pretty much what Karen Kukadajian is. Like, cause he's Ukrainian from the same school of fighting, bigger, but not overly big, right? Like believe it or not, I just looked up the reach. Devin is actually longer and bigger than Karen Kukadajian. Probably people don't even realize that.
Big,
he's
man.
big on his feet, but he's also willing to take a lot of chances, and he got a little pop, and he got a good beard. So I can see other people having, again, styles make fights. We won't know, but I can see other people having a hard time with Karen. I can see Devin having a hard time with Karen because, again, he had a huge size advantage over Loma. You would have a size advantage over Karen, but not as much. And I think Karen, it's just different. I don't know, and even their records are similar. But again, the only difference is Karen is not a southpaw. He's orthodox, but he's a little bit more. I actually think Karen Kukadajian fights better off the back foot than Loma does.
Absolutely.
Way better, because we know Loma, that's his like thing. He can't, if you press Loma, he can't do much. Karen can do both. So he might be more well-rounded. So I can absolutely see how other people have a challenge for him. When it comes to this fight with Devin and what's this freaking Brian Norman, I think it's a good fight. Like, I'm really kind of excited to see it because it's hard to gauge. Because I hear y'all talking about speed. It's so hard to gauge speed because you have to know the speed of the person they're fighting. It's all about comparison because everyone can be fast, but it's all about comparison. Like, for example, when Tank fought Ryan, I always thought that Ryan was faster, right? Because I remember seeing that hook go crazy, right? And then when they got in the ring, it for some reason Ryan didn't look as Ryan looked just as fast as he did, but I underestimated how fast Tank was, and I realized Tank, like, Ryan has faster one punch, like his one punch, like having his like one hook is very fast, but Tank can get a couple of boom 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 move quicker than Ryan could, right? So it's all about not just your speed, but how you utilize that speed, and that's why Ryan was having such a hard time landing like that knockout punch on Tank. You know what I'm saying? He landed it once, Tank, brushed it off, but then get hit with it again, right? So it's just hard to gauge the speed. Brian, I would assume, just because I've seen more of Haney, that he's a faster guy. I think on a fight night he's gonna be the bigger guy. And based on what I just Googled on the reach, Devin is actually still has the reach advantage over Brian Norman. I think Devin's gonna have every physical advantage there is.
That's why I understand why Brian Norman Sr. was saying that Junior got all the advantages. Like, Brian Norman Sr.
He has the advantage, the fact that he spotted a full 147. But other than that, no, I think Devin's going just like okay, when he looked good against Regis, right? Because he moved up, he wasn't squeezing down, and now he's gonna come 147. I think he's gonna feel a bit better. I think he's gonna be stronger, and he's gonna have the reach, the height. And I think he's going to be a physically heavier dude than Brian Norman. Because Brian Norman looked pretty comfortable. I've never seen Brian Norman look crazy on the scale. Versus even though Devin is going up, Devin's still going to have to cut weight to get to 147. Devin's a big guy. I don't think, and I'm just realizing that, looking at Karen, I'm like, Devin probably should have been 147 a while ago, to be real.
Somebody said Devin is 5'10". Is that true?
Yeah, that's what it says, yeah. And that might be like minimized. Yeah, he's 5'10". How about saying, like, he's taller than he's like, if you look at boxing back in the day, Devin would have been like a middleweight. Like, Devin is not like, he's not a small. I don't know how he got the lightweight. That's a whole other thing, a whole other argument. But he's not a little dude. So, and not saying Brian Norman isn't either, but I think he's still, with the exception of like boots, he's still gonna be bigger than almost everybody at 147.
Wow.
He really is. So I think he's going to have that advantage. I think that should help him. It should help him absorb punches. It should help him, like, remember how he knocked Regis down? He felt a little bit stronger. He should have a little bit more pop. So I think that's what's intriguing about it. Of course. So I don't know. Now speed is the only thing that's hard for me to gauge again because I. And then I was re-looking at. I didn't get. I gotta watch the Quentin Norman fight again, but I was watching the fight when he fought Boca Chica, and Boca Chica countered him so nicely with the right,
Yep.
and like he was just kept getting hit with that right. And I'm like, okay, Devin got a decent right. He's just gonna have to like commit to it and like really like throw it. Like he can't be super timid. If he throw that, he probably can rock him. Who knows? I want to see him throw it because it's there. It's just about
He got a throw though. He got a throw. He was scared to let his hands go his last fight.
I think yeah.
Let me go after Juke then, because I be Jesus, I'm about to. I don't think I ever disagree with Juke so goddamn much in my life.
I'm not having a. By the way, I don't have. I'm not saying Devin's gonna win. Brian Norman's gonna win. I'm just literally just me gathering information. I haven't picked a winner. I'm just gauging off of different stuff. So I'm just. This is just me brainstorming. That's all I'm saying. Before you try to eat me up.
All right, y'all finish with this Devin Haney pity party. I hope he do good party. I'm tired of this shit. I ain't gonna
Go ahead, Doctor.
First of all, I boxed, so I'm a little bit different than everybody else. When you move up and everybody's like, oh, he's going to be stronger, there's no guarantee because you know what the problem is with the body? If you stay at a weight class too long, your strength doesn't come with you because your body your body gets depleted too long.
Really?
Yes.
Well, it came with Terrence Crawford.
Terrence Crawford, first of all, Terrence Crawford is different because he was on. He still is on Snack, so it might be.
Well, you know what? This say Dondrick.
But Bud is a different type of strong too. Bud is a wrestler, and if you ever known a wrestler, them niggas is extremely strong. Like them dudes are probably the strongest people in any school you go to. Those are the strongest dudes.
But this is based on training, though. It's not like that.
Also, be fair,
Bud's strong.
From what you're saying, I've heard that too. Like, okay, so for example, you can stunt your own. I've heard you can stunt your growth, right? Now, I have heard that. Again, I'm assuming that I'm assuming. Okay, if Devin goes up, are we going to see the same like little strength? Like, is it? I'm assuming it's going to help him because he's not cutting as much weight. He still got to cut weight because I don't think he walking around 147. I think he walking around way bigger. As a matter of fact, we know for a fact he is, right? He's still going to have to cut weight. All I'm saying is that it will be some relief. It should give him some strength. But I have heard that if you cut weight for so long, you kind of miss that growth spurt, and you won't be able to be. I don't know how long that is, what that clock is. I think the difference between Terrence Crawford was at 135. Like if you go back and look at Bud's fights at 135, he looked drained too, but he didn't say that like super dumb extensive time. And then 140. Like you could tell he was comfortable in 147 for years until he just absolutely had to move up, right? Devin's moving up. I think that's why Devin keeps moving up so fast. Is because he was at a weight he shouldn't have been at for years, right? And I think that's why I don't see him staying at. I wasn't surprised when he only stayed 140 for like 2 fights. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he don't stay 147 long.
So he missed his man strength?
No, that's not true. That's not what Dondrick says. Not actually true.
Yeah, how you want to bet? You want to bet?
Hold on, we got Isaiah. What you doing on the panel? What up?
Yo, what's going on? You can hear me?
Yeah, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Yeah, so I'll be honest. I like Devin. I just don't like Bill. I just don't see Brian Norman knocking out Devin, if I'm keeping it real. If Ryan couldn't even knock him out, I don't think Brian Norman's gonna knock him out. And I think Ryan is probably stronger than Brian Norman. Because if them two fight, I would probably pick Ryan over Brian Norman just off of like the power and if we're going based off of left hooks. But what a lot of people don't realize is I think Brian Norman too. That's why for me the fight's like a 50-50. I just don't think Devin is gonna be able to do a lot of stuff that he's been doing to these other dudes. I think Devin's game plan is gonna be box a little bit, move around, bait Brian Norman in, and then he's gonna box him some more and just he's gonna make it a boring fight. But what a lot of people don't realize is I think when Brian Norman was fighting Santillion, he was in the locker room, and I don't know if a lot of y'all people he was watching. He was watching Devin versus Loma, and I think I seen an interview that I think his dad said that they study Devin, So I don't know if it's gonna be like a hand picked fight to the point where they study, but I'll be honest, I don't even want to say it's 50-50. I got it more like 60-40. I got Devin winning, not in a boring fashion, because I honestly think the Ramirez fight, I don't think he did that on purpose. I think he did that just because, he probably thought, yo, Ryan's gonna beat Rolly, and I want to stay in shape as possible, and I don't want to get beat up. But we'll see. I mean, right as of right now, it's 60-40 for me. But I honestly don't believe Brian Norman is gonna knock Devin out. If Ryan dropped him 6 times and he didn't get knocked out, I think he even broke his jaw. I just can't see it because Brian Norman said that he's not even gonna come in with a left hook, that he might knock him out with the right. So I think the game plan for Brian Norman is gonna be different. But to beat Devin, you really gotta outbox him. And Devin is a great boxer. That's all I gotta say.
But Devin, this is the thing though. Devin chin might be broken. Like you know how like the punch resistance go
Yeah,
down after people keep getting knocked down, and then you got knocked down like 6, 7 times in one fight.
yeah, he
So
did, and he did take a lot of punishment because I remember seeing him after they said Ryan won. His face was swollen up, but I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like this fight, it's just crazy, and I wouldn't say. I guess right now Brian Norman is the best at 147. The 147 division to me looks kind of soft, looks kind of weak. And if Devin is successful, I think he's gonna fight. I think he might go for undisputed. And I'm not gonna lie, I know people might be like, "Oh, you're glazing Devin." I'm not. I honestly believe he could be undisputed at 147.
I don't know about that, bro.
Yo,
Nah,
two
you
seconds.
definitely glazing Devin. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Bro,
I wanted to let him get that off real quick. Um,
nah, Dondre.
no, no, no.
It's
I'll
true.
let you go. I'll let you go. I'll let you get
Did
your
you
Devin
see
love
what
off.
Richard
I'll let
Richardson
you
said?
love Devin. I'll let all y'all love Devin. Devin does not. Ryan doesn't hit harder than Brian Norman.
I think he does.
How do
He
you know?
doesn't. He doesn't.
I
He
think
has
he
a
does.
faster. He has a faster left hook than about anybody in boxing. But Ryan's right hand is not as strong as Brian Norman's. Both Brian
Oh
Norman has
yes,
power
Ryan
in
right
both
hand
his
is. He
hands.
dropped Devin with a right.
That's because he ran into that motherfucker. First of all, but that's not here nor there. That's not
Tucson,
here
do you
nor
know
there.
what Richardson said about Brian Norman?
Hold on, how you gonna cut Dondrick off? Go ahead, Dondrick.
Go ahead, man. 'Cause I don't even want to talk no more because he talking.
Hey, Tucson, do you see what Richard Hitchens said about Brian Norman?
No, what did he say?
I'm gonna post it in the private chat. It's a video.
Hitchens is the biggest hater. I don't even want to listen to what
You know,
Hitchens
I'm not
says.
even. This is the thing. Like Hitchison is cool. I feel like he's a decent boxer, but all of those like amateurish type boxers, it's just like they missing something. It's like they need to turn their styles up a notch or
Two
something. That's
cent,
just me.
2 cent.
This the
Mm.
this the issue though. Even when Boxing Hacker posted that bullshit in a private chat, Brian Norman Richardson Hitchens said he only said that because Brian Norman Sr. was talking shit.
Yeah, but he also said that he whipped Brian Norman Jr. in sparring, and that he would always pick Devin.
Ooh,
Richardson
even
Hitchens don't
Dake
even like
father
Devin.
say Ryan hit way harder than Norman's.
Richardson
I know
Hitchens
y'all
don't even like
capping
Devin.
now.
Exactly,
So,
I
exactly,
Hell
know, I
bro.
no.
know y'all capping when Dake father got to come out and be like, "All right, now stop capping. Now y'all know
Man,
Ryan hit
hell
harder
no.
than
Ryan do
Norman."
not hit harder than no fucking Brian
no,
Norman. He
no,
hits
I
but
think
everything
it
Ryan's
else.
depends.
faster.
I
The
think
velocity is
I
more
think
of
if
that
it's
hook for
left hook
Ryan.
wise, I think it's hard to gauge. Again, like I can see Ryan left hook being harder, but I think if it comes to both hands, maybe Brian
Ryan
Norman.
got
But
like a whip. He got like a
no,
whipping
listen,
left hook.
listen, y'all.
One
Ryan
punch, I would say
Garcia
Ryan.
has a right hand too. When Ryan Garcia started working with
Exactly.
Derrick James, he started coming with that right. Ryan
That's
can knock
true.
you out with his left or his right. He has both hands. Like we got to stop saying he just got a left hook because that's not true.
Oh
He
no,
has a
I agree.
straight
I
right
agree.
he
I'm
can
just
drop
saying
you
that
with
his
too.
left hook is his money. Like that's his.
Yeah,
Like that's a super. Like even if you see it coming, you can still get hit by it. You know, they say the punches you don't see. I just like Ryan's left hand. Even if you don't see it,
I
I
know.
still think Ryan is just powerful in both hands. It's hard to say who's a harder puncher. And when we talk about okay, I think someone said you have to outbox Devin to beat him. Well, Ryan has been touted as a C-level fighter for I don't know how long, and I know like okay, oh Oshtering, whatever. I get that. I'm not discounting that. I get it. But what I am saying is that he was touted as this guy who has no skills. He's a C-level fighter. and yet he kept getting Devin. And there's a point late in the fight, Ryan versus Devin, where Ryan was moving around and Devin couldn't cut the ring off on Ryan.
Yeah.
So I need to go look. What I need to do is for me to feel confident in picking who will win. I need to go like I'm just saying for me personally, because I've seen some Ryan Norman fights, but not enough. I need to really look at his footwork.
I
Because
think
I just know, even though Ryan ain't got like the good footwork like Devin, Ryan was able to still like frustrate Devin towards the end when Devin kept trying to go for him.
I
By
give
just
Brian
being
Norman
fast.
what's even
footwork a
worse,
I give Brian Norman footwork
but what's
a 5 of okay, if on a scale of 1 to 10, right? And you can't pick what number they say you can't pick? 7?
You can't pick
I
5.
would give Brian Norman's footwork a 4.
Nah, come on.
Yeah,
Nah, but you know what?
It's very
This
low.
this
Low.
this
4?
nah, look, this
you
this 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 is gonna be the first time we see Brian Norman go all out and show us his true skills. That's why for me it was
Tell you.
60-40. So I do believe Brian Norman, he got immaculate footwork. He just hasn't had to reach out his tool bag and use it because the opposition that he fought, I don't want to say they're trash. They're okay, but I do believe that Devin is gonna be his toughest challenge. And as much as people don't want to give Devin the credit, we got to give him some sort of credit, even though Ryan beat the dog shit out of him. I just feel like Ryan had his number, and I feel like people think just because he had that type of performance that they're gonna be able to do the same shit. And
It
what we
ain't
saw
that
with the
though.
Ramirez fight,
But
but what
off
what
the
what we
rip,
saw with the Ramirez, so he might do that shit the entire time with Brian Norman and his next opponent.
but
This
off
the
the
issue
rip,
though.
Brian Norman footwork. I mean, off the rip, Brian Norman's feet, his stance is too wide. Off the rip, his stance is
Huh?
too wide.
Yeah.
So if
Okay.
your stance is too wide, then now we talking about footwork. If I'm Devin Haney and your stance is that wide, I'm going to keep spinning you and moving, and you're going to continue to be off balance, and you will never be able to set your feet to hit me. And then let's say you set your feet, because some people say, well, if your stance is that wide, you can get off more power shots. Okay, cool. If your stance is that wide and you're trying to swing and get off power shot and you miss and I hit you, now you're off balance. So how good is your footwork if off the rip your stance is too wide?
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
the
he
first time I've ever heard his stance
That
being
was the first
wild. I
time,
ain't
yeah.
gonna
I
lie.
was hearing some
But
wild shit.
this the only problem I have with the situation with Devin, bro. When you go back and you look at that Ryan fight, bro, like that Ryan fight, Ryan was damn near like 40% of himself and he beat Devin.
He was drunk as hell too.
40%
He
of
probably
himself.
chugged the beer on the
And that's the
walkout.
and that's
40%.
the issue. It was a shitty ass like it was a shitty ass alcoholic in the ring with Devin.
Yeah, but it was
And
also a
he,
guy who didn't even try to make weight and
well,
literally
okay,
was
What
that's
does
shooting.
that have
Devin.
to
We
do with
So
not
what
what
we
are you
doing
talking
saying
that,
is
about?
like
bro.
40%.
Fuck off,
He looked like he
man.
was
We
like
not doing
he
that.
looked like he was
That
at full
didn't
power.
change
To
the
be honest with
fight.
you, he
That
looked
didn't
very
change the
hydrated in
fight.
that fight. So I don't know how you get to 40%.
That did not
Bro,
He
change
looked
the
like he
he
was
fight,
was
very
bro.
40%.
coming
And you
into that
see,
damn ring.
bro,
He
Ryan
was a
was
40% of
40%.
himself.
No, he wasn't, guys.
Bro,
I
he
think
he was drinking
Brian
at the fucking
was
My
better
weigh-in.
in his
nigga, this
ring
Hey,
nigga
work
hold
kept
on,
than
hold
looking
on.
up
Let
at
me
the
to
stop
be
stop
y'all.
clock.
honest.
Hold on. Let me stop y'all right here. Let's just stick to the conversation. We're not finna argue about the weight and all that other stupid shit.
Yeah.
We've done
We
all that.
can't. Yeah, we can't no more because real Floyd Mayweather said it best. True champions adjust on Ostarine or not. So it
Oh,
don't even
exactly.
matter.
I want to
Regardless of
say I
feelings,
like that everybody saying that. Okay, so if people, I'm okay with people saying that Ryan has more power. I'm okay with that, right? Because I mean, we've seen him do more one punch knockouts across different divisions, whether he in shape, out of shape, whatever the hell. I think Ryan just has a natural talent, right? And I think that I do think that, but that wasn't the story coming into that fight. Coming into that fight, the story was that Ryan was a C level. He was an exhibition fighter. He was this, he was that. And so all I'm saying is like for the people who sit, I mean, I like Haney, but I'm like a super turbo Haney fan. Don't get into that trap again where you talking about somebody at C level, D level, all that, and then they go in and something bad happens. So I'm saying
Well,
is
you already
Exactly.
y'all
doing it, Juke.
underestimated Ryan. Y'all underestimated Ryan because Tank made it look easy.
He already doing it, Juke. He already said he a C level
All I'm
fighter.
saying is that I hope people aren't doing that this time because I really think it's because Tank made it look easy. But just because Tank was able to get underneath them punches and evade them punches, and took away Ryan's best gift. Don't mean everybody can do it. It don't mean everybody can do it because even though again I know that Ryan was on whatever drug that was, whatever. I also know that Ryan, if you look at his punch output, was slower. He was gassed. And I just feel like
He looked completely out of shape.
Ryan said it himself that he was
Hold
dehydrated for
on,
the tank fight.
Why are you interrupting me? At the end of the day, Ryan said himself, but Ryan also said during the tank fight, and you're trying to make us rehash something, Boxing Hacker. I don't know why you keep doing this. Like we're trying to move along, but if you think about Ryan's own words said that he don't walk around that heavy anyway. He was actually ashamed. He actually had to commit to camp because he had the same rules that everyone trash Tank for are the same rules that forced Ryan to be on his game. He couldn't BS. He had to actually be in shape. He couldn't be drinking beers. He couldn't do all that mess with Tank because Tank actually put in stipulations and I'm sorry, those same stipulations had Devin put it in, it'd been a better situation for him. But all sweeping down that having extra rules and all that's a problem, and you're draining a person. But no, Ryan was faster in that tank fight. He didn't gas in that tank fight. He took chances in that tank fight. That man played like I was so frustrated watching that fight because I'm like, Devin, it's so many times you can like take over this fight because this man is tired. He's exhausted.
He was scared,
and you just couldn't. He couldn't do it.
He was scared.
So that's all I'm saying.
And you know why he couldn't do it? Because he didn't make no adjustments.
Right. Because there was so many times. I remember my brother called me. Like, I mean, he's like, oh my God, it's frustrating me. Like, Ryan's beating this dude butt, but man, Ryan exhausted. Devin need to jump. Like, we saw it like that. Ryan was so tired and didn't throw like punches at all. And it was
guess what?
points, but like he could have really turned up on dude. He was so exhausted. And
Devin was tired too. Hold on, boxing hacker.
Go ahead.
You just can't wait, bro. Do you do this at work? Do you work with people?
Go ahead. I'll wait for you.
Do you have to go to meetings and stuff, boxing hacker?
I mean, I was just about to say something. I thought she was done.
Wait, but it's not about you just saying something.
Asking, do you have to go to meetings at work?
Yeah,
he does. And you know what's crazy? 2 cents. They got boxing hacker meetings on what to do when he cuts you off.
Golly. But I was finna say, damn, boxing hacker, you made me forget what I was finna say. What was the last thing you said? You
gotta interrupt.
What was your last thing you said? I was saying he couldn't make adjustmts. Devin Haney couldn't make adjustments. And also, this is the point I want to make. Devin Haney also expressed how he had a bad weight cut for that fight.
Yeah.
So
because he should have been moved up. And you know who else said
that? That nigga been having bad weight cut. Shit.
He should have
big ass should never been down there.
140.
Gonna have a bad weight cut this fight because he's supposed to be a 54.
May I go?
Yeah, this nigga said he can max out at 60. That's how you know that nigga not supposed to be down there.
He was at 160 at lightweight. Imagine what he ran now.
So let me say something real quick, right?
Go ahead.
Ryan Garcia said it himself that he was dehydrated for a tank fight, and he was in bad condition for his.
But he was eating steak tacos, my nigga.
It's not true, but Ryan Garcia, the actual person, that he was dehydrated for a fight.
He said he felt the best he ever had before that fight too. So now so who we gonna believe?
So
what we gonna believe?
How's he dehydrated when he on camera eating 10 tacos?
Are you eating steak tacos if you're losing weight though?
Ryan Garcia said he was dehydrated for a tank.
He wasn't dehydrated. They came in at 136.
Dehydrated eating steak tacos, my nigga.
Ryan Garcia said his body,
because it's called an excuse.
Was dehydrated.
Same thing you making for Devin when he got his ass whooped.
So hold on, boxing hacker. You trying to tell us that Ryan Garcia didn't rehydrate for the fight? He was dehydrated.
Yeah, he said that he was dehydrated.
So was that after he got his ass whooped, or was that before?
It was
after.
Exactly.
After that, how we know he was gonna be dehydrated for a fight?
Nigga, so he said it after he lost.
When people say that.
Okay, but what's gonna be an excuse November 22nd with Devin Haney on the canvas?
A dehydrated fighter.
Okay,
man going to sleep boxing after.
Boxing hacker said that because I also will say.
Wait, let me just speak.
You said it already. We heard you.
No.
Let him finish. Go ahead, boxing hacker. Finish. Hurry up.
Well, you see, Tank added rules. Ryan Garcia broke the rules that Devin added. It's not like the rules gave him a leeway. He literally broke the rules.
He definitely should have had a rehydration.
He went back and renegotiated the contract. He should have put it in the contract
to begin with.
He should
He
have
could
been
have
got
put it
nothing
back in the
about it.
contract. They went back to
Okay,
negotiate the
hold on, y'all.
contract.
Time out, because we getting
Listen,
off
I'm
task.
just speaking, I'm
Boxacker,
just
what does this
speaking the
have to
fact
do
that
with
you
what we
guys
talking
are
about?
neglecting. That's all.
What does this have to do with the
No,
current
because you guys are
conversation?
saying, well, if you see Ryan
What
can
does
do that
it
with
have
Tank,
to do
the
with the
Tank had rules.
current
You know what?
conversation?
The thing about Ryan, he followed Tank's rules. The thing about Devin, he didn't
What
follow.
does that have to do with the current conversation?
Because the current conversation, this was the current conversation. I'm just
No, it
adding the
wasn't.
parts that everybody's ignoring.
It wasn't about. We don't care. We're not talking about that. We don't need you to
Okay, so we don't
acknowledge that
ignore.
the rules and no, because we're not talking about that.
So what were we
We're
talking about?
talking about. We're talking about
No.
Brian Norman and Devin Haney fighting. That's what we're talking about.
Oh,
A
I
variation
thought
of
you were
that
talking like
conversation.
specifically about
A
Ryan
variation
and
of that
Devin.
conversation.
Okay.
So go ahead. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, if we're going back to that topic,
He
like I
was
said
actually
before,
talking about Brian Norman footwork. Remember?
yeah. I was just responding to Jupe's story about Devin and Ryan. As far as footwork, I pretty much agree. I think Brian Norman is light on his feet. You know, you can tell by the way he jump ropes. I mean, he jumps rope really well with the weights and everything. I think he's light on his feet. However, as far as educated footwork, I don't see it being on the same level as Devin. You know, Devin has really good coordination with his footwork. Not just laterally, but like if you look at Devin, he knows how like he's always in position to like attack, you know. So
In which fight? Wait, hold on. Let
yeah,
me ask you a question. In which fight did Devin display the best footwork from him that you've seen?
well, boxing is a game of inches, right? So like,
yeah.
so when you look at fights, it's showing good footwork is not always about lateral
Which
movement.
fight?
Man, why
I
you
think
just
all
can't
his
answer
fights,
the
fight.
I
fucking
think most of the
question,
fights
bro? We don't need no
display
fucking
Which fight?
excerpt.
I think
Yeah.
one of the best fights you can look at is like him versus
Hussein,
Cambosis.
can you re-ask him the question, bro?
Huh?
Hey, this nigga going all around the board, bro. Just
Yeah,
answer the
because
direct
it's not all
question.
around the board. I'm answering the question.
You're
But
All I'm
which
not
saying
though,
fight?
bro. You
is,
giving us fucking excerpt. We don't need that. She asked you a
yeah, I
specific
mean, because
question.
when people say footwork, they only think about lateral movement. But footwork in
Which fight?
boxing,
No,
He
listen,
said
Boxer.
which? Oh my god.
Which fight did from that Devin Haney
I think most of
displayed
the
his
fights he
best
shows good
display of
footwork.
footwork?
I don't know which fight
Which,
he didn't show good footwork.
if you had which one was you like, damn, he really got that footwork?
Well, the
Like
one
which
that you
fight
showed
made
the
you
most was
realize that? Why
the
you keep
Ramirez
cutting
fight.
me off
Right.
before I finish the question?
Okay. Go ahead.
Which fight where you was like, damn, okay, Devin footwork is excellent. Which fight did he display the best level of footwork you've ever seen? Which fight? It's just
I
which
think
fight. You don't
the
gotta
best
explain nothing.
the one he displayed a lot of his footwork was Cambosis, 2, and I think the Ramirez fight.
And you think Cambosis he showed the best footwork you've ever seen?
Cambosis too, yeah, because Cambosis
Cambosis.
looked like he made a
Okay.
jump for Devin in the second fight, but Devin was able to like negate him all based on his footwork. You know, and then I think the Ramirez fight.
What about his footwork did you enjoy in that fight? What?
Well, the way he was able to maintain distance between him and Cambosis when Cambosis was trying to close the gap and use his speed on Devin.
So did he use his feet for that or his jab?
What are you talking about?
He used his footwork to
Yeah, his footwork plus his jab. It was both. You have to move. You
Okay.
know? Yeah, you can't just be in one place. You know.
This man is crazy, bro.
I didn't really see a lot of
boxing
footwork
game.
in
So like
Cambosis.
people always
Okay,
think like
it's been like it's
narrow
gonna take us
movements. No,
20 minutes.
boxing
You
is
never
game
gonna get a
inches.
straight
Like
answer,
in the
girl.
small movements that count a lot. You know,
You gonna
more
eat
than
up all
Nah,
the
bro, you
time.
just got a problem with answering direct questions,
You
bro.
can't never.
Oh my goodness!
You
I asked
don't
you a
never
question.
answer the direct questions, man. You
Kendrick, you was gonna
always
say something?
No, I mean, I was gonna say, if y'all said the Cambosis fight was the best footwork y'all ever seen from Devin,
That's boxing
what's
hacker
that saying when I think Cambosis has the worst feet in
ever.
championship boxing history?
And was what somebody told me he don't punch with his left. He don't really use the left side of his body or
He
something crazy.
don't. He doesn't.
You know what? The what's great about Cambosis?
I think that was upper echelon. Shout out to upper.
Yeah, Cambosis. What makes Cambosis what made him a champion is his tenacity, and he doesn't back down. It's the fact that he's very it's his assertion. That's what makes him good. It's not any particular skill set with Cambosis. Because he doesn't. If you say like, what does he do well? What does he do great? You can't name it. He's just relentless sometimes, right? And so, and like he can, you know, because if you watch most of his fights, they're always close fights. They're mostly controversial.
Robberies.
They're right. They're very close fights that's controversial almost his whole career. Even when it was with Mickey Bay, I thought Mickey Bay beat him. Right? It's just that's just what he is. So I mean, I'm not saying Devin best footwork was it in that fight. I don't know, but I would say maybe I'm gonna say maybe I'm gonna give it the Regis fight, and I think he did pretty good in the Loma fight too. Although I think Loma footwork showed. I feel like with Loma and Devin, neither one of them separated themselves enough, but I'm perfectly okay with the outcome because I feel like Loma took his feet off the gas in that last round, so it could have went to anyone anyway. And it's just because he rebutted me, and y'all can watch it later. I did put the link in here about Ryan saying what he said, and that's a whole other argument we got to rehash. But I know we're saying, oh, people don't say certain things until after the fight, right? Because at the end of the day, the average fighter, no one's 100%. No one's ever 100%. Because at the end of the day, if two fighters got to cut weight, they both got to cut the weight. You're not saying one person has to cut the weight, and the other person don't. The rule applies to both individuals. So the only way it's a problem is if one person knows that they're way bigger than the other person and they're trying to do some sneaky crap. If we both got the same rules, it should be good. If you can't abide by those rules, it might mean that you shouldn't be in my division. You should be fighting somebody like, I don't know, Earl Spence or something. I don't know. But that's all I'm saying on that. But yeah, that's all I had right there. And I put the video. Like we can talk about, oh, he felt dehydrated. Yeah, he was fine before then, right? Everybody always got an excuse when they lose. Right?
Yeah, ain't nobody worried about
C levels and you're right. A level can not look good that particular day. And I like that everybody admitting that now, but when it was Tank versus Roach, suddenly that can't happen, right? It's funny how everybody
suddenly he know who we thought he was.
Right. Like when Tank don't look as great, when Tank don't look as great, but he still it still ends up being a draw. It's because you're not who we thought you were. But if any other situation, you didn't look that good that night. It's just funny how the rules flip and flop, right?
Hold on, let me respond to Dank Father. He says Loma. Hold on, let me respond to Dank Father. Loma and Regis was the best footwork from Haney. Again, Dank Father, another fighter with trash ass footwork. Regis got zero foot. He was tripping over his own feet in that fight. His footwork is so terrible.
Oh, Regis has always had bad footwork. Regis has always had bad footwork. And anytime he's fought someone who can remotely box, he's had problems. And that's been his entirety of his career. And to Dank's other comment, Earl was a middleweight shrinking down to 47. Okay, and Devin has always been a middleweight shrinking down to 135. That has always been big. What are you talking about? He's always been big.
Turning down to 147.
Matter of fact, I saw Devin.
Like,
there's a picture of Devin next to Bud years ago. He was bigger than Bud years ago. What are we talking about?
Y'all keep talking about this great footwork, but it seems like he's only displayed this great level of footwork against people with trash ass footwork. And I think, don't get me wrong, Devin Haney's footwork is decent. It's decent, but it's nowhere on the level of a Karen Kukadajian. Like he get in there with somebody, with somebody with some real footwork. The reason why he will struggle is because he cannot make adjustments. Like that's what y'all like. He can't make adjustments. He should be able to get in there and not struggle against Brian Norman unless he has to make adjustments. If he has to make any adjustments, he gonna be in a whole lot of trouble. Otherwise, he can just box like he did it had been doing everybody else.
Yeah.
The reason why he got in there with Ryan and kept getting Molly fucking whopped is because he didn't make no adjustments. That's why he kept doing.
Can't make adjustments. His dad
don't forget that part.
He can't make adjustments because he can't think for himself. He programmed. They go in there and program.
The fact that Ryan was cheating, but it's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
what they got to do with making adjustments?
I'll acknowledge that Ryan had a substance in his body. Was he suspended for cheating? No, it was because of whatever. But at the end of the day, he had some here. Let me finish. Relax. God, dog, get some self-control.
I just want to say,
understand, bro. I understand he has a substance in his body, But this is why why people judge it and carry it the way they carry it. Because I agree. Like at the end of the day, I think that win was rightfully taken from him. Right. I have no problem with that. All I'm saying is that I remember in the lead up, people kept talking. I remember one of the criticisms of Tank is he gets hit a lot. One of the criticisms of Boots was he gets hit a lot, and that Devin don't get hit, right? And apparently, everyone said that Devin don't got no defense. Ryan don't got no defense. He don't have no skills. All he got is a left hook, right? So my thing is, yes, I understand you saying that Oscarina apparently made him stronger, what have you. I just expected, based on the way y'all characterization of him, he's supposed to be the next coming to Floyd and have this defense. And the left hook coming. Tell me, unless you can show me where Oscarine forces you to keep your head on the line. I get it. I get he's on Oscarine. But what did that have to do with Devin's defense or lack thereof? The left hook is coming. How is it that you couldn't defend yourself better than Rolly did? Like, we trashed Rolly, but Rolly literally was not letting that hook off. He held the phone all night. And we can trash Rolly, but Rolly doesn't get enough credit for that performance because, I'm sorry, honey, he won't let none of that slip through. Devin was letting everything slip through. He kept catching him with the same punch over and over. And I don't care who you are. Tank, I don't care if you're Earl Smith. Anybody who lets Ryan clip them that often is going to go down. I don't care what kind of chin you got. And the fact that he got caught with the same punch, I get the Oscarine, but we have to address the defense.
Why do we have to address it if you get the Oscarine?
But hold on, Boxing Hacker.
No, but the Oscarine don't make you.
Hold on, Juke.
So then, should Oscarine be legal? Let's not talk about it no more.
It ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm asking about his defense. Y'all said he got good defense.
This is what I'm gonna say. Let me ask y'all a question.
Yeah,
if I would have told y'all before the Ryan Garcia and Devin fight, that Devin Haney is gonna get hit flush clean with 7 left hooks from Ryan Garcia, what would you say?
And it was like 20, right?
And still make it to be a split decision.
You would say he's going to get dropped. So Oscarine or not, if he get hit with 7 left hooks from Ryan Garcia, his ass is getting dropped. And
like I said before, you're talking about a kid that was cheating.
We're over it. We're over it.
We understand that. We're asking a different point. We're not. At the end of the day, you don't.
Boxing Hackle. Your man Devin was cooking.
I'm saying, did you show? Could you? You know what? Let me ask you this question real quick. Then we can solve this right now. Can you show me?
He off Juke because he gonna. We're not finna keep talking about that.
It just seems like they always try to make that Oscarine shit the end all be all. That's my only issue with them saying that shit, bro. That's not the only issue in that fight.
That doesn't negate the fact. Oscarine does not negate the fact that he can't make adjustments. He didn't make adjustments in the Loma fight. There was no Oscarine involved.
Right, and I'm saying this out of love. Like, for example, y'all, real quick, I was a huge, and still am, Deontay Wilder fan, right? I believe that Tyson Fury cheated, yes. But I think the problem Wilder fans made is the thing I'm trying to give Devin fans a head up on. Yes, the person can cheat you. Does that mean that's if you just focus solely on that and no other factors, you're likely going to lose to them again? Because yes, I feel like Fury cheated him, but there's still other things that added to why Wilder lost. And I get it. Like, I still feel like, he cheated. It shouldn't have been counted, whatever. And the good thing with Devin, at least he got that overturned, and rightfully so. I'm with him on that. But if you keep focusing on the cheating and not the other factors, he's gonna get slipped up and get caught again. Like, y'all don't want to grow from this. They just like, oh, we're gonna focus on that and that's it. Like, okay, fine. I'm done. I tried.
Thank you.
I tried.
All right, we're moving on. I wanna switch gears here real quick before I hop off because it's already past 12. That's crazy. All right, I'm gonna go to 12:30. So listen, real quick, let's have this conversation before I hop off. Vergil versus Lubin. And I want to say everybody been crying about Vergil boots. And now it's coming time for him to fight Lubin. And we don't even know if he's gonna get past Lubin. Everybody like, oh, I don't know. I'm leaning towards Lubin and this and that. So we don't even know if Vergil gonna get past Lubin. And Lubin kind of talking spicy like he not finna fight Boots. Let me find this clip of Vergil. Of Lubin talking. But I mean, do y'all still want to see Boots and Virgil fight if he don't get past Lubin? Is that out the window? Is
Yeah,
Virgil
that's out the
getting past
window.
Lubin? What do y'all think?
I think that's it. That's gonna be out the window probably. If he lose the Lubin, I think it's pretty much like that fight done with. Cause it's like what's if you can't get past Lubin, then it's like what's the point of you fighting Boots?
Well,
But then
yeah,
again, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know. It
yeah.
could be Styles can make fights as well. Maybe it's just Lubin style that beat him. I don't know.
I think Lubin is a more a skilled fighter so far as like certain fundamentals. So he has a possibility. It's always a possibility, you know.
I think Lubin don't listen. Right? And what I'm starting
I
to
agree.
realize, like fighters like Charlo and Earl Spence, like I heard Charlo say how he didn't listen in the fight with Canelo. And I'm thinking now, like Charlo and Earl and them, they were able to get away with not listening because they were just that talented, right? Because I remember hearing stories about Earl not listening in the amateurs. And so when it comes to Lubin, I feel like he has that type of temperament, right? As a boxer, like he just doesn't listen, and sometimes he want to get in there and just fight and grind.
Mm.
Why is everybody falling off? Are y'all falling off or y'all getting off?
I
But
don't know. I
anyway,
think two people came off.
I don't know what
um,
happened.
in that grind, but I feel like he's not talented enough to overcome his hard-headed stubbornness. And so when he gets in that mode, he fucks himself up every time. Like I felt like he was in that mode with the Charlo fight. I think people was telling him he not ready for the Charlo fight, but he insisted and he got his ass knocked out in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
He was in that mode in the Fedora fight where he was having some success, but even he said in the interview, well, when I got knocked down, I felt like I had to get a knockdown or I was gonna lose. So they ended up throwing him in a firefight with Fedora. He got his face all lumped up. So I think if Lubin can kind of like box how he should, he has a chance to win the fight. But I don't see him staying disciplined like that. And then I think Virgil will be able to catch him.
I mean, Lubin was a good amateur. I mean, he was a. I don't know. I think Virgil's gonna beat him. I don't know. I think Lubin has a chance. I mean, Lubin is a decent fighter. He's not an easy walk for anybody, but I don't think he can beat Virgil.
I think so. Lubin showed good discipline against Ramos, right? But I do think had he showed it against because he had a good game plan. Like his coach was telling him, like, what's his coach name again? I can't think of the coach at the time, but he really was telling him the right thing to do because he was winning. Like he was up on the before they stopped that fight. If I recall, Lubin was up on the cards, but Lubin he gets drawn into these firefights. He has his pride, and I think it's because he's been like people been saying he's chinny. But one thing that did impress me in that when Lubin fought Pandora, even though he got hurt multiple times, he kept getting up, and we've known Lubin to get knocked out, right? But Lubin kept getting up, so. I just feel like he would have to be so on point with this fight. Like he can't make any mistakes. You cannot let Vergil get them shots off of you. And also, I'm thinking Lubin's 30, which is not old at all, but he's had so many wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like it's really about him listening because if he listens to his coach, I think
Mm-hmm.
he has a chance. It's just that I don't know. He'd be like, yeah. I think I think certain fighters. They can box, but they get bored with boxing. They get bored with just doing it, and they want to just go for broke and do dumb stuff. I don't know.
I'm trying to find this
I
Lubin
mean,
clip,
everybody has a
but
gun until they get hit. You know.
no cap. What you think about the Lubin Virgil fight?
Nigga, Vergil.
Okay, here we
Lubin
go. I
finished.
found the clip. Yeah.
Lubin a shot fighter. Though.
Yep, Dan got it. Kevin Cunningham. Yeah, I love Kevin Cunningham.
Lubin could have get it done against Fandora. He ain't getting it done against Vergil.
All right, here we go, y'all. Let's check and see what he talking about.
You said you're interested in belts. Boots don't got a belt, but it's like he got a name right now. Would you be interested in a fight with Boots?
I want them belts.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm ducking any smoke with Boots, but if he pick up a belt, we can make it happen. You know, if they offer a big enough bag, then we can make it happen. But just to fight him on some voluntary shit, nah.
You said you interested in belts. Boots don't got a belt,
What?
but it's like
Hold on, bro. Listen. So you telling me, Lubin, that I need to go pick up a belt to fight you? What, nigga? Why you can't go pick up a belt to fight me? First of all, and second of all, how you gonna sit there with your arms folded, talk about I gotta get a belt or they gotta come with the bag when you know I'm supposed to fight Vergil next? So obviously, if you beat Vergil, then you would be next in line to fight me. What are you talking about, Lubin? What are you talking about? Are you Why wouldn't you fight Boots next if
Well,
the fight becomes available? Because he don't have a belt? Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
man.
no, I
what
would.
what we really meant to say was I need a little bit more than them cheesecakes, them cheesesteaks. Boots gonna give me after he whooped my ass. I need a little bit more than that
You
to
know
take
what?
that
I
fight.
feel
Nah.
that.
Y'all can't keep saying that though. Y'all can't keep saying Boots ducking, Boots ain't fought nobody, Boots a hype job, but then back door and be like, oh, if they want somebody to fight Boots, they gotta pay him. Like you can't have all of that. Like just because his talent and his skill level hasn't reached maybe the monetary place it should be, doesn't mean that you get to try to outprice yourself and overprice yourself every time I'm trying to fight you. And then when y'all see this happening, y'all just seen Lubin duck this nigga. Like he just ducked him in 4K. Right in front of y'all eyes, so to speak. And y'all know I use the term duck lightly. This is YouTube boxing community talk.
Mm-hmm.
But you already know if Vergil and you fighting and you beat Vergil, why wouldn't you be next to fight me? You fighting Vergil? What belt Vergil got? Are you
And,
getting a
and
bag
that's what I'm
with
about to
Vergil?
say. I love Lubin. Like I'm a Lubin fan. I feel like he gets to know I don't feel like he's scared of nothing. But that just shows me how they know Boots is a problem because this is what bothered me. I get he took the Ortiz fight because it was more money. Because if y'all recall, he's supposed to be fighting Murtazalia for the IBF. And I want Lubin to finally get a belt because I feel like he's been in the game so long that he earned that title shot. I wanted him to get the IBF, then fight Vergil, but he decided to fight Vergil because they offered him more money.
So he turned
So
down a belt. Hold on, I'm sorry to cut you off, Drew. So he turned down a belt to fight Vergil, and then
yes,
he gonna
and
sit
that's
up
why
here and say he don't want to fight Boot Man. Stop the
And that's what I
hypocrisy.
was about to say. That's what I can't defend him because you just did the opposite. Because remember, he was the IBF mandatory for Murtazaliev. And then I think they paid him. And that's why sometimes, like, I get the money in boxing and turkey and all that can be great, but sometimes it can also, it doesn't help the sport in the long run. Like, it might, short term, yes, but long run, it doesn't. Because to me, it made more sense for Lubin to fight Murtazaliev. That was a hard fight too. Basically, again, to me at 154, there's no easy fights. There's really no easy fights at 154. It's just that's just how, and it's been like that for like years. So it was a risk no matter what. But at least you're risking for a title, which you've been trying to get ever since Charlo knocked you out. So you did all this work to get yourself into the rankings. You're number one for the IBF. The IBF going to enforce their stuff, so you definitely gonna get them. And you could have got that fight, but he turned down that fight to fight Vergil for no belt. And so now you can't now say, oh, I won't fight Boots unless it's for a belt and I need the bag. Like, what? That's telling me that you see that Boots is more of a threat than you feel like there's something you see in Vergil that you don't that you can get a win that you don't see in Boots. You know what I'm saying? But you'd
And
be in a
and that
better
and that
position if you just fought Murtazaliev and tried to get that belt up off him.
and that's what I mean when I'm like, okay, is Boots gonna run into the same problems at 47 and 54? That's what I was asking before he moved up because everybody's like, oh, he need to move up, he need to move up, and I'm like, how do y'all know he not gonna have the same issues? And so y'all are literally seeing people because what was people saying before he fought Lima? Well, what about Lubin was available and all these people was available and
They
this and that.
did.
But now you seeing that
Yep.
they weren't available because like she just said, he was about to fight Murtazalia for his belt. And two, they don't want the smoke.
And I'm one of the ones who like I really disagree with everybody. Like, okay, I don't care what nobody say. Oscar De La Hoya was not about to put Ortiz in a fight with Jerron Ennis straight after injury. I don't care. Like at some point, common sense has to factor in. Vergil Ortiz, when he last time he had a layoff, when he had that illness, he got in the ring with somebody who had a heart problem. There is no way you're gonna let that man be inactive that long and then go straight into a Boots fight and blow all the investment like that. So that's why people say, "Oh, well, Boots ducked Vergil." I'm not trying to hear that. They're not ducking each other. Neither side was gonna make that fight. They've invested too much in each guy. That's just common sense at this point. It's like Lubin's good and it will give you. He's a great win, but he also has some vulnerabilities that we've seen. Boots don't got that. Like that'd have been like that'd have been malpractice to put Ortiz in there. Like I mean, not saying Ortiz ain't good because Ortiz has a chance to beat Boots, but not off a layoff like that.
Facts. And that's why you gotta be real. And that's what I was trying to point out to everybody. Hey, y'all listen up. If you haven't already, punch that subscribe button, punch the like button. Be sure to help support the channel by hitting the Cash App at $2 boxing or letting me know and dropping it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the live. Y'all be sure to help support the channel for me throwing my sleep schedule off every Tuesday night for the rest of the week. But we got about 10 minutes left on here. I wanted to get this topic. We might go over it again on the panel on Friday, Juke. But I wanted to talk about this because I can't believe Lubin, Juke. I can't believe Lubin. Like you really just contradicted the hell out of yourself, Lubin. You said you want a belt. You just turned down a shot at a belt to fight Vergil. And some people say, okay, well, maybe Vergil was more money. So how much you think you're gonna make fighting Boots? Like I don't understand. Like what do these fighters expect to fight Boots for somebody that's not proven, that ain't fought nobody, that all of these things that y'all list, why is it so expensive to get in the ring with him? Can somebody explain that to me?
I think I think he feels like Boots is high risk, low reward at the moment. I think that's what it really is.
So if Boots is high risk, low reward,
Yeah.
can we agree to stop trying to criticize until he becomes a high reward? Because obviously, until he becomes a high reward, he's not going to be able to fight this level of competition that y'all keep crying about. And even when he's going to fight for belts, like it's rumored that he's going to fight the Abbas guy next, y'all still criticize, cry, and complain. So at this point, we should agree that Boots is going to go get those belts until he becomes high reward. Because as long as he's high risk, low reward, these names that y'all crying about, they not gonna fight him. You just seen Lubin duck the man
Ain't
in
nobody
4K.
crying about Lubin 2 cents.
No, but that's true because think about it
We
for a
want Boots to
second.
fight like a champion. We ain't nobody crying about no Lubin. What are we talking about here?
Well, I agree. Like I remember they were saying they wanted Boots to fight a name, and they did mention Lubin. They mentioned quite a few names, and so I do think I get the criticism. Okay, I think that people are just so like they really like Boots and they just really want to see him. I do too. I want to see all these big fights really quickly. But I've been a boxing fan for a good while, and I think what people don't understand is that people have this idea that back in the day, everyone fought one high-profile name at the other consistently, and that's just not true. If you go look up any of the old school fighters who we love and revere, that's not how their resume went. Like they had a lot of fighters whose names you might not recognize, but they were still good fighters. Like we have this idea in our head that you're supposed to be a big name at all times or a popular name at all times. That's just not the reality. Boxing's never been like that. We think it is, but it never. In that. Not saying they didn't fight big names, but it was never just back-to-back big names and unifications. All that just never happened, right? So I think people want Boots to have that. But to what you were saying, Susan, because he's seen as a risk, but to me, 154 is totally a risk. So you might as well go get Boots. And he's a risk, so he's gonna have to get something to make the risk worth it, which is why I see why he's gonna fight Abbas. He needs to get a belt. And to me, Abbas will be a good win because everyone was high on Tellez. Remember? It's so crazy how just a minute ago, everybody was like, "Oh, I would love to see him versus Tellez," and then Abbas beats Tellez, and they act like Abbas is a bad fight.
Yeah.
But the thing about the whole situation is the person that Boots is compared to is Bud Crawford. every weight class that Bud Crawford moved up to, he fought a champion. Every single weight class,
Nobody
from
is
140
comparing him
to
to no
Yeah, they
168.
goddamn
want to think
Bud
about
He
Bud
fought
Crawford.
a
They
Crawford.
want to
champion.
see him
Ain't nobody
fight
thinking about
Now,
Bud
now
Crawford.
Nobody's
one weight class
comparing
he
him.
moved, huh?
Nobody's
You
comparing
don't
him
say
to
I
Bud
didn't mention
Crawford.
Bud
They
So
want to
Crawford.
like
see
you
him
have to
fight.
understand the standard they
They
Bud
put
want to
on
only
see
had
him
people.
one
fight.
fight
So
at
when Boots doesn't do
154.
that, he's gonna get
Let me say
criticism.
this. Hold on. Let me say this, right? Because I've been
Yeah.
meaning to make a video about this. I'm glad you just reminded me, Boxing Hacker. I appreciate that, homie.
Yeah.
Bud Crawford is not the standard. He's not. He's an exception. There's no way you can sit here and tell me Bud Crawford is a standard. That's some bullshit, Boxing Hacker. Nobody else is going to have the opportunity to get 13 belts in 6 fights. How is he the standard? He's not.
Right.
And nobody is comparing Jerron Ennis to Boots. They want to see them compete with each other. Nobody's comparing them. So I don't
They,
even know
And as far as I'm concerned,
they
like
are
name
isn't
compared to each
the
other.
difference.
way
They were
Terrence
considered
Crawford, we
similar
saw him
styles to
getting
each
this
other.
fight with Canelo. I saw that as his like, okay, if Bud may or may not fight again. I think for most people, that door of Bud in 154, I feel like they're passive diverged. I don't think there's any reason to compare them ever again because like we don't care. Like Bud, once Bud moved to 150 from 154 is done. Like there's so much smoke in 154. I really don't. There's a time I wanted Boots versus Bud. I don't care now. I see Bud as every bit of retired. He got his money fight with Canelo. Whatever he does now to add to his record, that's fine. And so far as the point of every time he moved up, he had a belt. Yes, because he had the WBO. That's something that most top ranked fighters have. The same reason why Loma got to fight to get 2 title shots despite losing. If you have the WBO, you get that, and that's why accolades are not the only say all is not the end all be all because it's political. If you're with the top rank, yes, you're likely going to get these title opportunities because you're with the WBO. Duh, that's why they invented it. You didn't have that before they invented the WBO. So that doesn't say much. I can invent Jupe's belt right now, and everybody who fights it is going to always fight a champion up because it's my belt.
Yeah, like I said before.
Yeah, that's
at the
a
end
fact.
of the day, it's still
I just stated a fact. There's no skill, it's a
they're
fact.
literally compared. So the standard that people put Boots at, an expectation, is always in context with Bud Crawford. It's
No, the fuck it's not.
I
Boxing Hacker.
disagree
Stop. What are
because
you
I
talking
mean, I don't
about?
know what else to say. I mean, we can't
because
rewrite
Yeah, I
history.
just told
you don't have
you.
anything to say
can't.
because you're
We
just
can't
But
saying.
you know
rewrite
what?
history,
You know
guys.
what you're doing, Boxing Hacker? Let me say this. You know what you're
Yeah,
doing, Boxing Hacker?
yeah.
And it's and for lack of better words, it's some fuck shit. Because what you're doing
Uh,
is I just told you, Bud Crawford is not a standard. He's an exception. So you're trying to put Boots and put him in a situation to where most likely he's not going to necessarily do what Bud Crawford did. And so to constantly keep saying he's compared to and Bud's the standard, he's not going to be able to do that.
okay.
So what?
So,
Like I don't understand why you keep saying that. We're not even talking about Bud right now. We're talking about Boots.
so
Nobody is going to be compared to or held to a standard of Terrence Crawford because it's unrealistic.
So let's keep. Let me use another context,
Okay,
right?
again.
Because
Okay,
I
wait,
hear
wait,
that
wait, wait. We
I
don't
hear
go
that Buzz is a
before.
little bit triggering to
We don't want
people.
to talk about Bud
So
Crawford. Why do you
hold on
keep
one second,
derailing
Jude.
the
Boots
conversation?
is considered like the boogeyman. He's always at 147. He's considered the boogeyman. He didn't have titles. You know, people were scared to fight him. You know, people consider Boots the boogeyman. So when you consider the boogeyman and you held to the standard of a boogeyman, you're supposed to be the person that chases everybody, the tough competition. So when he moves up and he doesn't challenge the top, people are gonna criticize him. That's where criticize comes from.
But
I hear
okay,
what
then
you guys say, but as far
okay,
as
then that
standards go, like because people consider him the boogie, people thought that the reason he wasn't getting fights was because everybody was scared of him at 147. That's why they say, "Oh man, everybody's scared of fight Boots." But if Boots goes to 154 and he opts to fight like a tune-up, that goes against that narrative that everybody's scared of
Did
him.
you do
Like,
you
okay,
see Lubin ducking him in 4K on this video,
but who
Boxing
cares
Hacker?
about Lubin? Lubin's not a top dog at
yes, he
154.
So
is.
who?
I mean, what are we talking about?
So
Jeff,
who else was
We
it?
want to see
So
him
Jeff,
fight
who
he's
else?
the
like a
top
top
guy.
dog
Who
because he's
who else
that
was
guy.
available? Boxing
So
hacker.
you're saying that Virgil's not fighting a top? So you're saying that Virgil's also cherry picking. Virgil's not fighting a top guy at 154.
Again, they want to see. I'm not even
No,
talking about
ask you a
Virgil.
question. Yes or no? Are you saying
I
that?
hear you
That's
want to
my
throw the red
question.
herring here.
Are you
with
saying
Virgil,
that
right?
Virgil is cherry picking
I'm
and
not
not
saying anything
fighting a
about
top
Virgil.
guy?
I'm
Yes or
saying
no?
about Boots.
Yes or
And the
no?
people again.
Boxing
Hold on,
hacker.
y'all.
Again,
Hold on, y'all. Hold
Answer
on,
the
y'all. Hold
question,
on. Not to
boxing
cut
hacker.
y'all off. Not
go
to
ahead.
cut y'all off.
Go ahead,
But did
Cassette.
y'all hear about the UFC about to get in trouble for unusual betting?
Yeah, I did. But
I
Okay, I
hear
want to
Yeah,
hear
about
this
Chauncey
real
Billups and
quick.
them snitching on everybody. They was like, we going down, everybody going down.
Facts.
Probably about 1 o'clock that day, we're with a company called IC360, and they are the best bet monitoring company in the business. And they reached out to us and they told us that there was some unusual action going on with that fight. Do we know anything? You know, we didn't. So what we did was we called the fighter and his lawyer and said, what's going on? There's some weird action going on in your bet. Weird betting action going on in your fight. Are you injured? Do you owe anybody money? Has anybody approached you to, and the kid said, no, absolutely not. I'm going to kill this guy. And, so we said, okay. The fight plays out and first round finish by rear naked choke. Literally the first thing we did was call the FBI. So we called the FBI. I've met with the FBI twice today. So that's the whole thing. Now you see people out there talking, oh, there's hundreds of fights under it's total bullshit. Total usual clickbait bullshit. IC360, our company, they monitor all of the betting. Like I said, they're the best in the business. There aren't hundreds of fights being investigated. All clickbait BS. So this company, IC360, which is the best bet monitoring company in the business, we've been with them for years. And we get a report after every single fight that we do. So for anybody out there that's clickbait saying, oh, there's hundreds of fights, it's all bullshit. We've been with these guys for years. We take this very serious, and we're watching every single fight that happens in the UFC, from the first prelim to the main event. So when this did happen, a couple of years ago, whenever it was, that investigation is still ongoing, and now will be a part of this investigation too.
You mentioned talking to the FBI. Are you directly talking to Cash Patel? I'm sure you do have a relationship.
Yeah, I talked to him this morning, but then we just had an office full of FBI agents in here. So, we if you try to do this, I've been very vocal and very open about this. We will be your worst enemy. We will immediately go after you, guns a-blazing, with the FBI and whoever else we need to get. And we will do everything we can to make sure you go to prison. It's like, you're seeing things out on the internet where like fighters are coming out and going, oh, I was approached. Really? Why didn't you tell us that? Or more importantly, why didn't you tell law enforcement that you were approached? Now you're saying that you were approached. It's like if somebody comes up and says, hey, I want you to rob a bank. I'm going to rob banks. Want to rob a bank with me? And you don't do it. What, you're not gonna tell law enforcement? It's really weird that fighters are coming out now saying,
Dana White, stop playing. Y'all believe Dana White?
Well, this is what they wanted. I don't care. This is what they wanted. They claimed that box need to be fixed, and they let the Trojan horse in. So you know what? Whatever people get, I hope they're happy. Good luck.
I mean, he's protecting his company. I can't just say it's his fault. Like, and he seems to be ahead of it.
Who
So
said
based
it
on
was
this,
his
why
fault?
not?
Who said it was his fault?
I'm saying he's protecting his company and he seems to be ahead of it. So, yeah. I mean, people do illegal shit like that in fights a lot of times. So, yeah, I don't see anything suspicious about it that much.
No, nothing suspicious about it. I'm just asking, do y'all believe him? Like, oh my God, I can't believe that they're cheating in a UFC fight and gambling. I
They
don't
need a
know what's
full
wrong with you.
investigation. Where Cash Patel crooked ass eyes at?
They said that he talked to the FBI.
They
Yeah,
get
so I
it.
wonder how
You get
they detected. So maybe they detected. Maybe the person was the person who the odds were against. Everybody started betting for that person. He ended up winning. I don't know how they were able to even detect that like that.
Because it's unusual betting. Like, let's
Yeah,
say
that's what I'm saying.
somebody
Like
put
everybody's going for the person
$4
who
million
the odds are
on
against.
the
Yeah.
like. No, let's say somebody was like, "All right, I'm gonna put $4 million on round three," and you like, "Why the fuck would you put $4 million on round
I
three?
mean,
How are you
I feel
so
like Dana
confident?"
White has been sued. There's so many investigations and mess going on with that company, and it has been for years.
He's
And
not trustworthy at all.
no, and that's what's so crazy. Like people keep talking about they want to clean boxing, they want all this, but it's like you literally said, "I want." Like it's like you're saying, "I want to clean this lake." You know what we should do? Let's bring in a swamp. Like that's what they've done. It's like let's bring in a swamp and all the dirt and filth and grit and throw it in this clean, freshwater
Late
lake.
to
Like that's
clean.
what you've done, and now they're trying to say, "Well, I understand." Like you keep saying that all these other companies are a problem, and now you've gotten the people who have the most complaints, the most lawsuits, the most drama, and you brought it into boxing, and now it's just going to infest everything and make it worse. This is only beginning, but you know, at the end of the day, people had certain arguments. They want to be right, and they don't care about. Again, I've said it many times. They don't care about the sport as a whole. They care about getting a point, trying to win points on YouTube online. So it is what it is.
I mean, this allegation doesn't mean I don't know how it affects.
Boxing hacker. Anytime you start off with you about to say some
It's
real
gonna be
shit.
like a far stretch, like people. I feel like a lot of fear mongering happens, like I don't know.
It's not fear mongering,
Yeah,
boxing hacker.
like
The man is in an antitrust lawsuit. What are you talking about? He's in multiple. He already been sued for $375 million. Now he's in another antitrust lawsuit where he's just been told by the judge he have to release all of his paperwork, everything from talking to the managers to sponsorships, from for everything. He got to release everything. They want all the information. They about to fry his ass.
how many lawsuits
And
have.
now he's sitting here talking about, oh, gambling, unusual betting. We never have that happen. This is one time before and another time now. Nobody believes Dana White. You cricket, bro.
Nearly half of the people, think about it, almost everybody he's worked with is either suing him, doesn't like him, trying to get away from him, and this is who they brought in. So imagine that, like, would you go to a surgeon who had like a 50% fail rate? Like 50% of the people they did surgeries on are complaining or have problems since. That's what we're dealing with. Like, let's say you need like a life-saving surgery. Like, yeah, but 56% of people either dead or they have all these complications. Are you gonna go to that person? That's what boxing is. They said, no, let's just go to Dana White. Not the person who doesn't have any lawsuits to have any problems. Let's go to this person. Okay. You know,
Yes, let's go to the person in the
common
antitrust
sense ain't
lawsuit.
common. Common sense ain't
And
common.
and then let's entrust the person right now that's being told by a judge that he needs to release paperwork and how much they getting paid and how much events made, because he doesn't want to make that information public because he don't want to have to pay fighters. But we're gonna let him make changes to the Ali Act and champion it on and say, oh, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah,
And they got options in it. Like none of that shit makes sense. But listen, it's after 12:30. I'm finna hop off of here. I'm gonna go around, let everybody get their final 2 cents off. Thank everybody for joining me tonight. If you haven't already, punch that like and subscribe button. The goal is 5,000, but we on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Look, I checked the analytics. Y'all be coming back and listening, show after show after show, but y'all not punching the subscribe button. So just punch the subscribe button. But Boxing Hacker, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Yeah, what's up, 2 Cent? For me, like I said, for the Ali Act situation, I think yeah, boxing is good that like, I love that have all these like weird issues. Like,
You going in and out, Boxing Hacker.
can you hear me well? Yeah. As far as the Ali Act being changed, I mean, I feel like it sort of needs to be changed anyway. I think for boxing, it'll be good if like one day it'll be under one umbrella versus like the way it is right now. You know, because right now there's so much politics. It's like, given the body that governs boxing in the future is just, I think it'll be better. You know, because right now it's so much politics, so many sides of the streets fighting because this like if we can get past that boxing. But then it's like top of the line, those sort of like the mid-tier fighters put money in their pocket and then for something, you know, fighting for a division that will sort of like allow them to climb the ladder a little bit more steadily, you know. As far as Lubin fight, like I said, I don't think Lubin really. I think Lubin's good. Don't get me wrong. I think Lubin's a good fighter. I think he's a tough out for people, but Lubin's also lost a couple of times, and I think that lingers a little bit. I think Ortiz is probably gonna beat him. You know, I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's definitely gonna be a good fight, but I think Ortiz is gonna beat him. You know, as far as the Devin fight, you know, I'm going with Dev. I don't see. I said this even to Brian Norman Sr. Brian Norman Sr. I think Brian Norman Jr. is good. I think he's steadily getting better, but I think Devin's just. I sort of agree with what Hitchison said in that video, where it's like there's a level of fighter that I think that Brian Norman Jr. is not there yet. I think, you know, but who knows? Maybe I could be wrong, but I'll put my money where I'm betting on Brian Norman Devin to beat Brian. So I'll leave it at that. With that, salute to you, 2 Cent, Jupe, No Cap, in the chat. Y'all have a good night.
All right, peace out, Boxing Hacker. Yep. Every time y'all hear Boxing Hacker go, he about to say some. He about to say some push. Shout out to Mr. Greg with the $5 in the super chat. He says, "Didn't I mention earlier that Pam Bondi and Cash Patel will start looking at combat sports and gambling?" You sure did, Mr. Greg. Shout out, Mr. Greg, for the $5 in the super chat. No Cap, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Yeah, Dana White and UFC is some MAGA shit. They gonna be protected by the MAGA regime, by the Cash Patel, the man with the crazy eyes that they can't never tell the truth. You know, and this is what it is. This is the dark times ahead. It's like I told niggas on the Boxing Voice, y'all mad at Tank for getting the accusation. He can't go on Netflix because of an accusation. But Donald Trump could be a president, but he got multiple accusations, multiple charges for women saying he did stuff to them, and he get to be the president. So I don't want to hear that shit. I want to see Jake Paul get his ass whooped November 14th, but he was ducking that ass whooping, and that's why they canceled the fight. You know what I'm saying? And now Dana White, the UFC been cheating, they been fixing fights, been doing this bullshit. Dana White is a degenerate gambler, so of course he's going to be into that, but he got the complexion for the protection. You know what I'm saying? He got the connection with the ultimate perpetrator, Donald J. Trump, the traitor in chief that needs to be put on trial for treason, and we need to watch him hang in the public square along with his cohorts. That's what's good. We got to get Obama back up in that bitch, get Eric Holder back in the Department of Justice, and go after these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Just like we going after Devin Haney, November 22nd. Bill, your ass is grass. Devin, you looking scared in the interview with Brian Norman on Rain Magazine. He ain't playing with you, boy. Yeah, shit real, nah. Show enough has came into that movie theater, nigga. What you gonna do, Devin? It's time to put up or shut up. We ain't want to hear you. We don't care about you hitting them damn pads. You ain't moving your head when you hitting them pads, Devin. Your head is still on the line, nigga. Your jaw is in harm's way. Your jaw will not survive 12 rounds with Brian Norman Jr. You going to sleep, or you will face multiple concussions. You will be motherfucking. What's my man that played football? I can't even think of the nigga right now. But you gonna be fucked up after this fight, nigga. You better fucking throw that. You better motherfucking take that knee, nigga. You better take that knee and shut the fuck up. Cause it ain't gonna be pretty for you, nigga. Boxing Hacker, you gonna cry that day. We laughing at you. I'm laughing at your tears. I'm a relish in your tears. I'm a relish in your anguish.
Boy.
You enjoy watching you wallow in despair. Because Devin Haney gonna be on that motherfucking canvas, twitching with his arms reaching out to God. I promise you, nigga. That's all I got to say.
All right, no cap. Thank you for that. Excellent display of your emotions about the fight. Thank you. This is 2 Cents After Dark. Jude, close us out. What's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Well, I don't know how to follow up behind that. That was intense. So I when it comes to Devin versus Norman, like I really like both fighters. I really do like both fighters. Like I follow Devin longer, so I don't have like I really don't like don't really. I really don't like. For me, it doesn't matter who wins. I really just want a really good fight. I hope both guys come out okay. Hope it's a good, clean fight. Part of me want Devin to win because I just know that like this would be a great comeback story for him, right? I think that he's with the Ryan stuff. I think this would be he could then because people would still see maybe his king is 147, and I would love to see him get back against Ryan. To me, I know people kept like I think with all the rematches we talking about Tank versus Roach. To me, the only rematch that actually needs to happen because I mean this man did you dirty. The everybody keep talking testosterone, but they're not pushing for that rematch. Everybody like, oh, Tank should have fought. That was a draw that could have went either way. That's one thing. But you got kind of beat pillar to post. I need you to get that back against Ryan. And I think if he can get around Norman, it's gonna boost his confidence and it's gonna make that fight versus that rematch versus Ryan even bigger. Right? So he gets to get his get back and really completely Ryan's story if he win. Brian Norman. If Brian Norman wins, okay, guess what? That means that kind of keeps that flame between him and Boots alive. Well, either one of them win, right? I feel like because they'll be looking at 154. I don't want. I'm like KO. I don't want to see either of them trying to be undisputed at 147 after they trashed the other two guys. I don't want to see it. Like I'm not giving you credit. I refuse to give you credit for either one. You can claim undisputed all you want. I will trash it every step of the day. Like you can't trash the fighter and then try to beat him. Like sorry, this is not how it works over here for me. So I don't know. I gotta make my pick, but I need to watch a few more Brian Norman fights because I have questions about his footwork and his ability to move around as quickly. I think when it comes to like Dana White's Dana White, and we should have saw this with the Turkey situation. Like he was always going to be the catalyst to get Dana White into the sport. And I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, I think it was Hacker saying he would love for boxing to be under one umbrella." Boxing has never been under one umbrella, and we had some of the best years ever. But the thing is that the things that people root for are the things that hurt the sport. Like y'all wanted to be this all under one umbrella, but I also have a point where I also want.
Hold up, not to cut you off, Jude. Mr. Greg say, I was told by a relative over at the Justice Department that an inquiry was opened a few weeks ago concerning Victor Conti's snack program. Ooh.
I mean, oh, by the way, rest in peace to that gentleman. I understand he passed away. So, but
R.I.P. Victor Conti.
I will say this: it should have been an investigation with that because that would not be allowed in the sport. Like in no other sport, and that's a go off into a tiff about that. There's no other sport where I know where you can have been convicted of cheating, and then you can later come back and be involved in and provide your own supplements.
Doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, right. And then have a relationship, have a huge like tie on paper with the same organization that's testing everyone. Like that, you could not do that in there's no part of life that you wouldn't get investigated and probably convicted.
That's why he came to the red light district of sports, Juke.
It's a conflict of interest, even if there's no legal. huge conflict of interest. Because how do you know Margaret Goodman and everybody who created VADA like that? And so when people talk about it, oh, yeah, like it's a conspiracy theory. No, it's not. If anyone has a job, or if you work with any company, corporation, government, you know that's a gigantic, like anybody else would get fired for that. That's a huge conflict of interest, even if he's not doing nothing strange. And it's like saying, okay, I robbed the bank and then I got hired as a bank manager of the tellers. Like, it's not going to happen. And people really made it act like this is normal, this is okay. That it's not. Like, I'm sorry. Y'all can say you turn a new leaf. You can turn a leaf. You get a second chance. But if I rob the bank, I don't get to be a teller. That's just not like I got to turn a new leaf in a different direction. So I'm surprised it hasn't been an investigation. But again,
but you know what's crazy, Juke? Like, think about it. Victor just died, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they're gonna open up an investigation on Snack. So the only people that's gonna be in trouble is who?
The fighters.
The fighters.
The fighters. Just like that. And that's what bothered me. Because I'm like, even if the fighters, what if he's doing something and they don't even know about it? We saw what happened last time. He snitched on them. Like, people react like we're trying to go against the fighters. For all we know, they might think everything on the up and up, and he can, like, they should know. Like, you should be at the minimum suspicious, right? And I'm not saying that because, like, I'm not saying like this man's a bad guy. Because you know what, Victor Conti may have really turned over a new leaf, and God bless his soul, right? He may have. However, if I hire an accountant who has a history of stealing money from people, and then I get got, is anyone going to have any empathy for me?
No, they're gonna say, "Why would you be working
Right?
with him
That's
anyway?"
all I'm saying. You have to be just so careful, right? And that's all I'm saying. Like, that would not exist. I don't care. Well, I don't know where y'all work. That would not in no other corporation. You can't, like, even the appearance of it would prompt an investigation. And not only are you still supplying supplements after your last supplements were drunken people, and you admitted and snitched on the people you supplied the supplements to. Remember, you snitched on them. Not only are you doing that, you now have a relationship and a part of the foundation of the testing agency. What? Like it's just like, I mean, like it's a normal thing, and that's not normal. That's just not. It's unprofessional. It's problematic. There's no way to not say it's problematic. Even if, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, even these fighters who be like defending, like I like Bam. Bam's a snack fighter. I like Andrade. Andrade's a snack fighter. But at the end of the day, if something pop up and he blame you, what can I say? Right? What can I say? And so I get Tank is annoying, and he a little cuckoo bird. We all know Tank a little touched. But when he says stuff about that snack stuff, he right on that. I'm sorry, he is. On that point, he's right. It's just suspect. Anyway.
Shout out Boxing Hacker. Let me get Boxing Hacker. Shout out Boxing Hacker with $2 in the super chat. He says, "Ain't nothing wrong with Snack. Y'all gotta let it go."
Well, okay, well, you know what? The same Balco, tell that to the fighters who said wasn't nothing wrong with Balco. Y'all gotta let it go. And then he snitched on them. You go ahead and tell that to them then. You know, fine. I hope you're right. We hope you're right. We just saying, if something don't shake out, if something weird, you can't then blame Victor Conti because y'all defended it. Y'all said there was no reason for concern. There was no reason to be on, kind of leery. Y'all gotta take 100% for it then. That's all I'm saying. Y'all fine. Y'all say, I hope you're right. Because like you said, Victor's gone now. If there's an investigation, he ain't gonna pay the price. He didn't pay the price the last time. They going to. So I don't want to hear about it. Oh, well, my fighter didn't know. Y'all defended this stuff day after day.
It's gonna be boxers and trainers. Think about that. Yeah, it's gonna be boxers and trainers.
Like, again, like I'm not saying someone who robbed something don't ever. There's a crime. Don't, like, for example, with Tank and all these allegations, right? There's a reason why he's not giving the benefit of the doubt. And I said the other day on KO's channel, he doesn't deserve the benefit of the doubt because it's been alleged before. Has he been convicted? No. But we do see him on tape yoking a girl up by her collar. That is enough for people to be like, and question it without proof. I'm not defending it and mad about that because, hey, you kind of put yourself in a position where people won't doubt you. Victor Conte admittedly drugged people, and y'all giving him more benefit of the doubt than someone who's never been convicted of something. Y'all convicted someone who's never been convicted of domestic violence, right? And y'all just like, oh, he did it. Meanwhile, Victor Conte not only was convicted of this stuff, but he also snitched on the people he did it to. And y'all give him more benefit of the doubt. At some point, you need to question why that is. And what type of logical gap you're having that's causing that. So at the end of the day, again, God rest his soul. I pray nothing comes out against these guys who own that program. But I will say they all be gaining and losing weight mighty fast to the tune that seems almost unnatural, but fine, whatever. If y'all say it, fine. I think, another thing, Lubin versus Ortiz. I think Lubin got a shot. I think Lubin does have if he's like, if Cunningham got him, is he still with Cunningham? Do we know if he's still with Cunningham?
I think he's still with Cunningham.
I love Cunningham as a trainer. I think if he stays on point, he has a shot. Not the best one, but I do think he has a shot. And so I can't wait for that fight this weekend. I'm so excited about that fight. And I think that was all I had. Oh, we were talking about the whole. I ain't got much on Tank. What I said as I stand by it. We need to put him some rice right now. Let him just bow out and see what happens. I don't know what to think anymore. I think the whole PR stuff that Jake Paul put out was BS. I think we all know that because you don't care. Your mama, the Bud Crawford era. Your mama. Anyway, I think we gotta let that play out and just see how it shakes out. But that's all I already got. And thanks for letting me on. Y'all have a good evening, and I will talk to y'all later.
Shout out Juke. Thank y'all for coming up. Again, y'all got me on here an hour past what I said. Y'all see how y'all do? I said I was getting off of here at 12 o'clock. Then I extended it to 12:30. I don't know how we got it 12:55. Time just fly when you're coming up here with this boxing talk. But shout out to everybody that joined me on the panel tonight. Interesting conversation. A break away from the Tank Davis talk. I was going to say some things about it, but check out my videos I drop tomorrow. I'll probably go more into the Javante Tank Davis thing. I really just need to take a break and step back away from it. I didn't feel like dealing with all that tonight. Shout out to Mr. Greg with the $5 in the super chat. He says, Hacker, I said an inquiry, not a rumor. I believe that they will be looking at certain fights and the bets made on them. Shout out to Mr. Greg. Man, people think they're going to be getting away with this stuff, man. Y'all not getting away with it. All it takes is that one person to come in and just want to investigate it, and just like that, your ass is grass. But I'm going to keep my ear to the streets. You know, if something starts to go down with Victor, you know we going to be on top of it. We're going to keep our ear to these boxing streets and keep you posted and keep you updated. And you always know for sure that I'm going to give my 2 cents on the situation. And I'm going to always want to hear y'all 2 cents on the situation. So, if you haven't already, again, punch that like and subscribe button. Be sure to help support the channel by hitting the $ Cash App at 2 Cents Boxing, or leaving a special thanks by hitting the heart with the $ below. If you're listening to the replay, put replay game, just stopping by, just put a comment or something in. Let me know you're here and let me know you're listening. Join me again Friday, 8:30 p.m. for the All Women's panel, where we talk where we have a Friday review show where we review different videos and tweets and things from the week and give our 2 cents about them. Hackers in denial about the fact that the snack program may be under federal investigation here soon. We don't know. We have heard about an inquiry that has been placed to the Department of Justice. And I don't know if people just throw random inquiries at the DOJ, or does it have to be some type of merit or, something to them, or is it just something they just be like, all right, maybe I'll look into it, maybe I won't. I'm curious how that works. Blood Crawford Era, please don't come in my chat trolling with the stupid talking points. Are you a bot? I'm starting to think that people that do that be doing that they just bots, because they all they repeat is the same talking points. It's never no depth. Like they can never explain what they saying. They just saying it. But y'all go check out my latest videos I've dropped. Y'all make sure y'all go check out my shorts. I try to put up different shorts to keep you guys entertained. Like to try different things with the AI. So, go check out the shorts and let me know and drop it below your 2 cents. Check out the videos and let me know and drop it below your 2 cents. And listen, if you don't want your host all in the videos, cussing you out, timing you out the chat, leaving you in the background, kicking you off the panel, come on over to 2 Cents Boxing, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion.